Right before I begin, this is the Alliance Alive. This is a game pretty near and dear to me. I'm WinterHof. I will be your first speedrunner for today. This is a game that was written by the Suikoden writer. I don't actually know most of the Suikoden games, so this is going to be an adventure along for you and me. I've played this game dozens of times, but this is now just coming to light all the new things about Eiyuden Chronicle. So I'm happy to be here for 100 Here with Strong Marathon, and we are going to begin very soon. So just making sure, John with an H, do we have a okay?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, thank you. We will be beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave birth to time and space. Once there was an explosion. A bang which set a planet spinning in that space. Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave rise to life as we know it. And then came the next explosion. Welcome to the Alliance Alive. It surprisingly takes a lot of cues from Death Stranding for whatever reason. So yeah, we're starting here in Svalna. The first thing I want to do is enter a menu and switch to a few settings. And we are going to... well, we're going to go on an adventure. This is our main character, Gallo. He's pretty much like Vaughn from Final Fantasy XII. He doesn't really have that much stake in the story, but he's mostly along for the ride. He is your self-insert. The other character along with Vaughn for now is Azura. And Azura is really going to set the entire plot in motion. First thing I want to do, however, is go to the shop, enter a safety shop, and I want to get one buckler. This is for a menu about 20 minutes later, because I tend to forget this menu whenever I'm under pressure. So we're going to go out to the world map, and the cool thing about this game is that there is a story, but you can press start to fast forward some of the dialogue. This is the HD Remaster version, so I am playing on the PC. It's also available on the Switch and PS4. This is our first fight. So, if any of you have played Suikoden, you're going to be in for a very shocking surprise. This game takes a lot of cues from the Saga games. If you have played Romancing Saga 3, Saga DS, Romancing Saga for the PS2, among many others, such as The Last Remnant, this battle system is a little bit unusual. I'll be talking about this for quite a bit. Right now we are in, this is just the general movement. You have an overworld, enemies can aggro onto you. You kind of just want to stay on the move at all times. There are different enemies on the world map and each of them have a different movement pattern. So you just kind of want to find a way to move around them. What you do not want is to have two enemies chasing you and they engage you, because this is going to cause something called a battle chain, which again I will get into. I know this is a flood of information, but there is just a lot of things to take into account right when we press go. So let's just have a moment to breathe for a little bit. Like I said, this game takes a lot of cues from Death Stranding for whatever reason. The whole lore of this game is that one day humans were living in harmony, and then demons attacked. The demons decided to yeet Earth so hard that Earth decided to split into 4 separate continents. After which the demons put their own minions, the Beastmen, into subjugation of the Beastmen, and the demons just kind of went back to their own realm. We don't really know why. All we know is that humanity is miserable and we want our planet back. Kind of sounds like Death Stranding, except not really. There's a lot of rain, but this is the rain realm. The parallels will get all the more weirder as we go on. It's kind of great, and it's kind of amazing. The third character is this guy named Renzo. He's okay. I mean, he's not important. He just sells, like, there's a cool museum. And the interesting thing about this museum is that there is a painting of a blue sky. Apparently that's enough for Azura to want to enter the museum. The problem is the museum is for beastmen only. So when Azura shows up, they say, alright, look, you're a human, we can't let you in. So go do something else, Lamau. This ticks off Azura because she just wants to see a painting with a blue sky because her parents when she was a child, told her that the world was a wonderful place and was full of life, splendor, and a blue sky. So Azura just wants to see proof of a blue sky. I'm going to be a little bit quiet here for the really nice music. This is the Ancient Museum. This is kind of your tutorial dungeon. And to answer someone question in the chat, basically, yeah, you're right, the Earth was split into 4 different landmasses, each of them with their own element. This is the water element. And it's a really nice start. The music is really nice by Masashi Hamauzu. I'll get into that a lot later. But for now, Azura decides to blast open the door. The guards do not care for whatever reason. This is when Azura starts to talk about her magic. Magic in this game, for humans, is called Sigimancy. Sigimancy is a lot similar to Saga Frontier 2's Anima, in the sense that everybody has the ability to channel Sigimancy. But in order to properly get Sigimancy cast, you need to have something called an Aetheract. The Aetheract that Azura is holding is her mother's knife, and the Aetheract amplifies her power so she can cast spells. In terms of gameplay, that means if you don't have an item that has an Aetheract, you cannot cast Sigimancy. Right now we're doing a small little puzzle. It's a clock puzzle, and if you notice right in the center of the room, it looks like a clock. So we're going to set this here. You don't actually have to read the hint, which is a really nice thing, and you can set them all off in one go. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is enter a menu, and this is your talent tree. You can do, what the talent tree is, I'll explain a lot later. These are passives, and this is pretty much your skill progression system. What I want to do here is sneak around, and what I put on was scouting for Azura, and that reduces the enemy aggro rate on you. Right now we're just doing a bunch of puzzles, and we're pretty much doing a reverse Indiana Jones in the sense that we're taking stuff from a museum for our own personal gain. It's okay because we just want to see a painting, so I guess that's cool. This is our prize, the Mirrored Cross. We don't know what it is, but we're going to take it anyway. So that's kind of cool. Remember, kids, if it's in a museum, it's free to take. This is not sponsored by RPG Limit Break. Next thing we are going to do is reset this puzzle for the second step of this puzzle, and we're going to go into another room and take a stone staff from the armory. This is the first... okay, I'm going to take this fight. Skeletons I don't like because they chase you pretty harsh. So if there is a skeleton and it aggroes me, I'm just going to enter a battle. The battles are really easy to escape from, so it's not a problem. This is the first time we can actually see a split in our decisions. If we decide to take some of the other weapons, those 2 guards at the end of the hallway will come to life and start fighting us, so we don't want that to happen. What I just grabbed was called an Order Gem. In this game, repatriation actually costs something, so what you're going to have to do is pay an Order Gem to redo a fight if you happen to die. If you run out of Order Gems and you cannot restart a fight, that is a full game over and you have to start from a save. So pay no attention to that weird pentagon door thing. That is completely irrelevant. It's always going to be locked. The cool thing is we get some cool stairs, and we're going to go see if there really is a painting with a blue sky to prove Azura's point. So, well, it turns out there's nothing. Welcome to the Alliance Alive. So we are going to put down the Mirrored Cross, and it turns out there is a painting of a blue sky, but we're not supposed to know that because this cool beetle demon guy named Bedan Grossa comes in and says, alright, you've decided to stumble upon classified information, so you guys are going to have to die. We can't fight this guy, but it's not going to turn out well for either of us. Okay, nice. Okay, we died before the third turn. That's good because at the third turn, he will give us a lot of boss banter, which isn't cool, and it wastes a lot of time. What Grossa does at this point, he says, alright, Azura, since you have stumbled upon classified information, you have to receive an appropriate punishment, so the appropriate punishment is permanent blindness, according to a spell. Azura enters the ignition state, which is kind of like your limit break status. She breaks her mom's sword, which is the consequence of the ignition state, and this sets the plot in motion. So it turns out that there really was a blue sky, and it turns out the world was never like this at any point in time before the demons came. So we have all the more reason to fight against these demons because they took our world from us. The problem is Azura is now blind, and the only way to reverse a demon's curse is to kill the demon who had bestowed the curse upon Azura. Alternatively, if we somehow make nice with Grossa, he can undo the curse by himself, but the problem is we're out of luck if we want to return Azura's eyesight back. The weird thing about Azura is that she's not entirely blind. She can use Sigimancy well enough to see outlines of the world around her. Kind of like this one character from Final Fantasy XIV, it's a spoiler, but she's not actually blind, she just has a blindfold so it looks cool. I mean, she has to be a playable character. The next part is that Gallo wants to be part of the human resistance called the Silver Ravens, led by the guy in the gray hair, not Nikari from Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, that is Wyatt, that is Azura's dad. Azura is also not related to Fire Emblem Fates Azura, but it came out at the same time. Both of those games came out at the same time, so I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. The next thing we do get are the two party members, Renzo, the guy we talked to in the beginning of the game, and Barbarossa. Barbarossa is pretty much your brawler type character. He's got a lot of health, he's got a lot of physical damage, he's got a lot of endurance, a lot of defense, but he can't really cast spells. Renzo is pretty much your kind of fragile speedster guide. So he's not too strong, but he tends to go first every turn. That being said, Gallo and Azura are your two weakest characters in the game. Just look at the health comparison. This is something that I think was intended because they're your self-insert characters. So, with Gallo specifically, he is kind of a jack of all trades in terms of just physical damage. He can't cast spells all too well. That is something given to Azura. She can cast spells very well. But the intention with Azura and Gallo was that you would use them for the entirety of the game, and they would develop however you wanted them to, so they're completely clean slates. Renzo and Barbarossa, Barbarossa specifically, is very well geared to axes in a standard new game. So he has a lot of innate talents that give him spell discounts on axe abilities. He also gets a couple of other passives with axes, like drawing aggro to him, specifically when he has an axe drawn. So there are a lot of things I am just kind of glossing over, but I will explain them when I do have the chance. Right now, I'm just trying to keep you caught up with the plot as best as I can, because it goes at a breakneck speed in the first hour. I'm going to be a little bit quiet here because I hate this area. Set up a quick save. You can quick save anywhere you want. If I enter a fight, if an enemy aggroes me, I'm entering the fight, because I want to avoid a battle chain. I've mentioned a battle chain earlier, and a battle chain is when two or more enemies in a small radius aggro onto you, and if you enter a battle chain, you cannot run from those series of fights. That is what I want to avoid. Right now, it's not a massive time loss, but in the end of the game, that is just about rip run if I do not have a quick save. So, I'm going to be really slow and cautious. This is an estimate of 4 hours. So, I mean, my last world record was 325-ish, but anything and everything goes wrong in this game. This is a Saga game. It is written by Suikoden guy. but it is a saga game through and through, and it will treat you like a saga game, and it will beat you down if you are not prepared. So in the next part, we enter a Hermits Den, and we try to investigate what exactly Gallo and Azura stumbled upon with the Mirrored Cross. It turns out that the Mirrored Cross is basically an ancient set of car keys. If we go to the North Cape in the Rain Realm, we can summon this thing called the Ark, which was a massive ship that humans used in antiquity to travel across the world, and it was even said that it could fly. We can't really prove that, but we have the car keys, so we're gonna go to the North Cape and we're gonna go get our car back. The music in this game is composed by one of my favorite composers of all time, Masashi Hamauzu. I specifically bought this game for this guy. This is not a sequel to Legend of Legacy. It is kind of a spiritual successor to Legend of Legacy. There's really no big references aside of the weapon skills you use. And Legend of Legacy in itself is a Saga Light game. I will get into all of these comparisons later, but right now I just want to focus and get out of this place. So I ran into about 6-7 fights. That is okay. I am completely fine with this. I did not get a battle chain, so as far as I'm concerned, this is a victory for me. And we're gonna head back to Svalna. And what is really nice about this game is that sometimes it gives you the option to just immediately head back to the town you're supposed to go to. So you save a nice amount of backtracking. Anyway, as I was saying, it turns out that we've got the cool car keys, but we are part of this group called Silver Rain, or Night Ravens in the case of Wyatt and his group. This guy, Botter, is pretty much just a swole turtle. He is the disciplinarian of Svalna, and he is a beastman. It turns out that he figured out that Wyatt is connected to Silver Rain and the Night Ravens. Yeah, he just gets yeeted pretty hard, and we've got to find a way to escape. This is why Barbarossa is one of my favorite characters, because he's just going to punch something open. Someone mentioned this is the same composer as Final Fantasy XIII. This is the same composer as some of the songs in Final Fantasy X. If you listen to Wandering Flame, he also did a Saga Frontier 2, he did Unlimited Saga, he did Front Mission Gun Hazard. That was his first in 1997. He most recently also did Legend of Legacy. He's also a really prolific musician. Hamauzu does a lot of classical piano stuff on his own. I have purchased all of Hamauzu's sheet music despite playing only like 2 of his songs. He is a prolific classical musician. Please listen to Hamauzu's Etudes Opus 4. That etude is a 1 hour It is a 1 hour ballad, but not really ballad. It is just a celebration of all of his skills with just the piano, and it is amazing. Anyway, back to the plot. Those 2 characters that were completely irrelevant and we're never going to see again, they aren't going to help us for any alternative reason. They're just here. They're Deus Ex Machina. Don't worry about them at all. Never mind that one of them looks like Robin from Fire Emblem Awakening, and the other looks like Valoria from Fire Emblem Fates. Right now, this is kind of our first fight. I'm going to do this thing and press select, and we can auto-battle. And auto-battle is really smart in the sense that if you have enough SP, which is your skill point resource, you can keep attacking ad infinitum with that skill. If you run out of SP, you'll immediately switch to a skill that costs 0 SP. So it's really smart, and I really do like that. So this game is really easy. Not really easy, but very accessible for new speedrunners because there's not a lot of button mashing. There's a little bit of thought put into a lot of this, but it was very heavily documented by myself, and Ed Sean did a lot of the strats that you're going to see. I really did a lot of the optimizations in the first wave. If you want to see a really good display of skill, the most recent runner, Tata Tata Potato, did achieve sub 250 in the PS4 version, so if you want to see an excellent display of skill, please watch Tata Tata Potato's run. What you're going to be seeing is just a general show of what this game is capable of by someone who spent a lot of time a few years ago writing down a lot of the nuances of this game. I have it on a Google Docs on speedrun.com, so if you guys are interested, please look that up. Anyway, Barbarossa and Renzo sacrifice themselves to be caught and try to fight Badr, and really, Gallo and Azura are our last hope. We see two figures flying in the distance, and that looks like Silver Rain. Silver Rain is the second team that is in the Rain Realm that is part of this resistance. We have to break them the news that Wyatt got captured, and we've got to find a way to get the Ark. This is our only hope. They're going to give us one thing called the Ornithopter, which is a really cool tool that unfortunately does not get a lot of use in the speedrun. We do some cool movement tech, but its use is very limited in the speedrun. So I'm going to show that off right now. If you press X on a cliff ledge, you can glide down and move pretty quickly, so it's pretty nice. I do use it in emergency situations on the world map to immediately disengage from enemies that aggro me. Someone is asking if there are differences between the PC version and 3DS version. Yes, and it's a really petty personal stuff. For one, the PC version was done by NIS of America, and what NIS of America decided to do was not have the internal clock follow the game correctly. Turns out, with the internal clock on the remastered versions, the internal clock goes at the speed at which the game is going when in battle. So meaning if I have a 4 times speed up in battle, the in-game clock will go 4 times as fast. This is not present in the DS version to my knowledge. So at the end of the game, my IGT is going to be at about 5 hours. In the 3DS version, that actually is, it's going to be about 3 hours, 45 minutes, and that is actually accurate. That is just the one extremely petty thing I have against the remastered version. I also noticed that with high levels of scouting on your team in the 3DS version, you can completely nullify enemies aggroing to you. In the remastered version, the same level of scouting that nullifies enemy aggro does not nullify enemy aggro. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, if those are the two problems I have with the remastered version, I think this game is pretty okay to play. Okay, the next skip I'm going to show off was found by Ignace. She is a fellow Switch runner, so this is a skip found completely by her. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be scaling across this mountain instead of going to the opposite side of the mountain range, and it's going to save us about a minute worth of trekking. Alright, I'm going to do this. It's going to look a little bit weird. And all we have to do is mash. This is the cool thing about the Ornithopter, and this is one of my favorite tools in the game. It is a shame that we do not see any more use of it beyond just a few points in the game. So we're going to go down here. And before we enter this cave, I'm going to make a safety save. This is your first kind of challenging fight in the game. I want to equip the buckler, and I want to get a few skills on Azura. Okay, I should be fine. Just be careful here. Okay. This is really your first hard boss in the game because not only were you given a taste of power with Barbarossa and Renzo, you are now back to Gallo and Azura, and it's only 2-on-1, and this boss has quite a bit of health. I'm going to cheese this delightfully with a trick you too can try at home. So it's going to involve the buckler, which is why I purchased 2 of them. And I'm just going to be quick saving a lot. I'm just going to enter fights. Okay, so if you notice the 2 placement of enemies, I want to be really careful here. I do not want to enter a battle chain, so I'm going to draw an enemy out. This is a Saga Frontier and Saga 2 kind of strat. So a lot of these, shout out to Saga 2020 by the way, a lot of these, if you've watched Saga 2020, you're going to see a lot of the same strats used. So, that's right, we are here for 100 Heroes Strong. This is really a Suikoden marathon, but this game was written by the writer of the Suikoden games. So mechanically, it's Saga. In terms of lore, plot, and just general feel of this game, this is a Suikoden game through and through. Alright, this is the coolest fight in the game, and this is one of the cheesiest, so you guys are going to enjoy this. Alright, I'm going to enter lineups formation, and I'm going to block. Okay, the only thing that Azura will do is heal. Okay. And I'm just going to repeat this ad infinitum. If you see this little yellow bar right next to Gallo's face, it's going to build up. That is your ignition bar. I need to be careful about my SP. Should be fine. Block, and I'm going to use a medicine. Okay, he's not proccing anything. Okay, I might be in danger. Okay. Normally he procs something. Okay, this might be a refight. Okay. I'm just gonna refight this. So I made a mistake, and normally you're supposed to proc skills. This is another Saga Remnant, in the sense that the more you use a certain skill, the more you will activate a stronger skill. Normally Gallo does proc something, so... Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, I believe in you. Also, yes! Okay, excellent! So, he got Bash, and that's going to give us a turn worth of SP. Okay. Getting there. Excellent, elude. Okay, I'm gonna risk it. Nice. It's normally not this hard. I made a miss menu, and I was supposed to give Azura an extra round of heal. Of Sigimancy Mastery, so the SP cost of healing Sigil would have been 1. Okay, excellent. We've entered Ignition State. And Ignition State is going to give us a limit break, and it's going to one-shot this fight. Easy. Alright, so that was really the first hard fight of this game. The game afterwards gets pretty straightforward and pretty easy. So, somebody is asking what weapon types are favorite for this run. It is shield, axe, and sword. Those are really the core skills you want. Also a penguin's fists, but that is out of context, and you will understand why later. Yeah, so there are really only a couple of weapon types that we're going to see. But really, for the most part, we're going to be relying on swords, shields, and axes. So at this point in the game, it looks like we used the car keys and the car didn't show up. But yeah, after Gallo throws the car keys on the floor, we do. I'm just going to make a safety save right here. And the car is actually going to come to us. This is now the next set of characters. This is the better Vivian and this is the better Gallo and better Azura. So Vivian and Ignace are demons. I will explain what demons are very soon. We are in another world called the Burning Realm. And that small short character is called Professor Alstein, or Tiggy, as she likes to call herself. In terms of lore, Vivian is just curious about humanity, so she goes down to the human world, and Ignace, her bodyguard and butler, is like, please don't. But he goes along anyway. Okay, so shouts out to Hideo Kojima's Hideo Kojima game, Metal Gear Solid. So we're going to sing a few songs, and I hope you can sing along with me. Son, you've got a way to fall. They'll tell you what to go, but they won't know. Son, you'd better take it all. They'll tell you what you know, but they won't show. Wait, is this the wrong song? It was from Metal Gear Solid 3, so... whatever. I'll just keep going. Oh, I've got something in my throat. I need to be alone while I suffer. Alright, we've had enough of that, so let's get back to the lore. Anyway, we go down this whole labyrinth of ladders, and it turns out Professor Allsheen just kind of wants to float across lava. We're gonna find a way to get her robot to cross lava. Tiki's kind of cool, and she's gonna show you a cool trick about Sigimancy. You see that duck? You can make it small. Alright, I'm gonna be really quiet here and listen to the elevator sound effect. Okay, I might be crazy, but that elevator sound effect sounds exactly like the same elevator sound effect used in Undertale when you're going down the core. I genuinely think that is just a stock sound effect. I don't know. But anyway, we are just finding machine parts for Tiggy's robot, so it's pretty much a small fetch quest. And what we want to do is just find more about this world and just cross lava. And that's pretty much it. So we're gonna go out and we're gonna put some of the talent points to use on both Vivian and Ignace, and just all the characters in general. Alright, first thing I want to do, enter Ignace. Excellent. So this is going to help us a lot later in the game. In terms of stats, it's a little bit weird. Ignace is, at least equipment-wise, set up to be your physical tank. He is pretty good with a shield, he is moderately good with spears, but in terms of stats, he is really set out to be a better mage than even Vivian. Vivian, on the other hand, has a little bit more strength and a little bit more endurance than Ignace. So that makes her, in theory, a better tank and a better attacker, but a slightly worse mage, but she has a lot of the spells available to her in the beginning of the game. Tiggy, meanwhile, is supposed to be a reference to your robot-type characters, like the robot in Saga, the Game Boy Saga games, and she has one weapon type, and those are cannons. They are pretty hard to come by, so Tiggy does tend to fall off pretty quickly. She is a pretty good Sigimancer, but you're really hard-pressed to use her well. I'm going to show why very soon, and that is because of a few accessories you are forced to equip on her to access a few skills. The nice thing about this area is that the block puzzles, if you just give them the money, that you start off with, they'll just solve the puzzles for you, so that's a really nice time save and built in. I'm gonna save here. Okay. Yeah, at this point in the game, Vivian quite literally breaks the game with one spell, Thunder Emission. It's a cone-shaped AoE attack that is just so strong that one-shots most enemies up until, I'd say, like an hour into this game. So she is very powerful, very useful. Unfortunately, spells in general, both sorcery and Sigimancy, do fall off very quickly. And this is something I should also explain in terms of lore. So demons like Vivian and Ignace are capable of casting sorcery without the use of an Ether Act, because sorcery is a school of magic all of its own. Demons and beastmen can only use Sigimancy, whereas humans cannot use sorcery. But likewise, demons can't cast Sigimancy. So there's an interesting dynamic in the party building as well. The next item I'm going to get is called the Shot Stabilizer. This is an accessory for Tiggy, and this will give her a massive power boost very early on in the game. Shot Stabilizer gives her a skill called Precision Mode, and that enables her to cast this one spell through her weapon, and it does as much damage as Thunder Emission does. So what we're going to do here is fail the puzzle, and we're going to pay some guy to do the puzzle for us. It's honestly like backseat gaming, really, if you think about it, so it's pretty nice. Oh, Lenacy's in chat. So Lenacy is the other Alliance of Live speedrunner, so she's also a very good wealth of information as well. So if you guys want to ask Lenacy questions, sorry for putting you on the spot, Lenacy. Alright, this is a pretty fun fight, so I'm going to show off Thunder Emission. With Ignace, I'm going to cast a spell, Vital Drain, and I'm going to enter Precision Mode with Tiggy. Tiggy's like super sick at this point in the game. Easy clap. So, again, you were given a very nice taste of power, and it's very well paced. Again, I think it's because of the Suikoden writer really directing the scenario here. And you just really learn how to use characters in just different situations, and that really does clue you in very well in both a saga context and in a Suikoden context. So, I really do like that a lot. What you also may have seen on the top right corner of the screen is that guilds can help us in battle if we are close to a guild tower. This is the effect of the chiral network that we are trying to help build throughout the divided continents of this world. So throughout the game, we are given a task to really unify all of humanity and all of the people who want to fight against the demon suppression in this world. So we have to build the chiral network, and that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort. Unfortunately, we don't use much of the chiral network in the speedrun. It is really unfortunate because this is where the Suikoden aspect of this game shines. And even though it's a Suikoden marathon, I am completely sidestepping that, so rip, honestly. This is the next area, Blue's Oasis. Blue is a demon, if you notice by his speech bubbles. Demons have a light purple speech bubble, which is, I consider, an aspect of their chemonoplasm. Okay, I have to explain this. So, demons also have this thing called chemonoplasm. Chemonoplasm is this genetic trait for friends that manifest as ears and tails. So they are realistically human, but with enough chemonoplasm, which is also present on their clothes, I don't know how, they look somewhat animal-like. In the case of Vivian and Ignace, well, in the case of Vivian, she looks like a fox. In the case of Ignace, he looks like a hound. So, here, demons are... in the case of Blue, he's made an oasis, literally and figuratively, where humans, demons, and beast folk are all equal to one another. Oh, we also get wrecked here, so rip. Okay, this is a really hard part in the game to avoid battle chains, so I'm gonna be pretty quiet here. Get away from me. Okay, take it. Okay, I have to avoid getting no-scoped, and I have to, like, dodge all these enemies, so this is actually kind of difficult. Alright, this is the next fight, and we're just gonna do the same strat of Thunder Emission, Vital Drain, and Precision Mode. Okay. This is pretty straightforward. This is a really important menu that I'm gonna do afterwards. So, Blue asked us to kill the octopus. We do not want to kill the octopus, otherwise this is legitimately rip run for me. So I need to be careful with this. Okay, let it flee. Good. So, crisis averted. This is gonna be really important later because surprising absolutely everybody, your choices matter in this game. So we're gonna see this choice happen a lot later in the game. So we're gonna be talking about 3 hours into the game, this choice is relevant. So it turns out we don't really fulfill our mission because we didn't kill the octopus. We still get the part anyway, but if you do kill the octopus, you get an extra accessory for Tiggy. It is absolutely 100% not worth it, in my opinion, especially if you're trying to get a all recruits run on your own. So we're gonna head back. We're gonna head back and we are going to enhance our robot. So this is gonna be, it's a nice little comical scene, so you guys enjoy. Real talk, I'd actually do that to my computer. I mean, all you really put is like a cooling pad and it's pretty much just water cooled now. So it's like 100% clickbait, like streamer built computer thing. It's great, honestly. So in terms of like game seriousness, so I guess on a scale of like Hackers to like Matrix Revolution, this is a Spy Kids 3D game over, also starring Elijah Wood. This game is relatively serious, but it never really indulges in the fact that it's a serious game. There's a lot of comedic moments. There's a lot of funny character interactions, like what you've just seen. There's going to be a really funny one coming up soon with the duck. It's good. It's great. It's an all-around fun, lighthearted game that you really should play if you have the chance. It's available everywhere, at least through Steam, on PlayStation, on the Switch. I'm personally using the GOG version because when this game first came out, I think GOG had like a better deal by like $1. So, I mean, look, I'm from Eagle Land and $1 is like a pack of Skittles. So, I'm absolutely going to take an extra pack of Skittles, like, saved. So, that's just me. So, I'm just going to take a quick breather and let's just enjoy the soothing sounds of lava. Please stay hydrated. Alright, so this is really one of the funnier points. So, you know how Tiggy can make her suit big? She can only make that suit large enough to fit herself. She can cram in Ignace and Vivian, but they're kind of cramped. Remember this little detail for later, because if you... I mean, they don't actually talk about it later in the game, but because of that dialogue, 7 to 8 characters cramming into a tiny little duck is actually canon. So, just think about that for a little bit. The next area is Pandemonium, and this is where Tiki wanted to go to do her research. You really don't know much about this place. So, it's also a really nice track by Hamauzu again. I should really talk about the battle system at this point. So, a lot of the things that you're seeing are happening at a breakneck speed because you can input your commands really nicely. But this game takes a lot of cues from Saga games, in the sense that weapon skills, you start off with very few weapon skills, and the more you use that weapon, the more likely you are to awaken, or, in the case of Saga games, spark new weapon techniques. This is really the foundation of the combat system, in the sense that, yes, there is RNG in getting stronger skills, but that's part of the adventure. You do have to experiment a lot and figure out what weapons give good skills, what weapons are effective against certain enemies. So that's kind of the fun. It is a little bit weird in the sense that there are no explicit levels in this game. Weapon skills have their own levels tied to them. So if you use a, let's say, consecutive strike, which is a spear skill, enough in the attack formation, in the attack position, you can also gain levels to boost the amount of physical damage it does. It is a lot of thought put into it, but it sounds like a lot of thought put into it, but in practice it really isn't. So I'm just running into these fights and just avoiding battle chains left and right. This is par for the course, really. This is a really tight area, and I am not very comfortable with Tiggy's like hitbox. So, what you also saw was another collectible, Chaosium Gems. So Chaosium Gems, unlike Order Gems, or as I call it, Chiralium. Unlike Chiralium, it can be found in fixed places throughout the game. Order Gems appear randomly, and they give you chances to restart a fight. Chaosium Gems are pretty much your collectibles in this game, so you collect enough Chaosium Gems, you can get some pretty cool items. And if you collect enough of them, you can actually get some of the strongest weapons in the game. So it is very nice in your first playthrough of this game to pick up as many Chaosium Gems as you can and find a Chaosium Gem vendor. The techniques that you learn are somewhat random. Some skills are more likely to proc other skills. I'll explain this when we get Barbarossa and some of the other characters back in our rotation. So this is another pretty challenging fight. I have wiped to this fight more often than I'd like to admit, so I'm going to create a safety quick save right before this fight. This is the Ark. This was the car that the car keys were tied to. Right there before you, you see kind of like a, I guess kind of like a rave happening in front of you. This is called an ether gear, and we really don't know what an ether gear is other than it's bad and we should probably destroy it. Partially because water devils, or BTs as I like to call them, the BTs will pop up from them and they're not very fun to deal with. Again, if all of this is a little bit like going a mile a minute, hopefully we will have some time to talk about it. Okay, Vivian is down. That is a little bit concerning. I think we can make it. Okay, I'm going to... Should be fine. Okay, we're fine. Excellent. So at the end of every fight, there is a chance to increase your health or increase your SP. It's a little bit random. There are passive talents that you can spend your talent points into at the end of every battle to increase the likelihood and increase the amount of health that you gain from battles. So if you remember that little sun-shaped sigil, we've seen that before, and this is going to become in really importance very soon. So Vivian, Ignace, and Tiggy stumble upon the Ark. Really, they didn't do anything. They just found the Ark. What sets the Ark, what activates the Ark are the car keys, you know, continents away. But they're really just here along for the ride. They didn't actually touch anything. So, just by happenstance, they move along with the Ark. So, this is really the first hour of the game where we set up all the playable characters and how all of their stories intertwine and mingle and eventually turn into one big story. This is something I really like. This was something I think can only be handled by someone who writes just huge casts of characters like the Suikoden writers. So, yeah, this is great. We are gonna go back to the characters Jean and Rachel, who are not Valoria from Fire Emblem Fates and not Robin from Fire Emblem Awakening. These guys are kind of slimy. They are working in close to the demons and working closely with beastmen. They're pretty much resistance hunters. They work closely with the demons and they pretty much get paid for it, so these guys aren't nice people. Rachel does have a heart, as you're going to see throughout this game, but Jean has ulterior motives that are... He's willing to sell out everybody for his own personal gain. So, yeah, take that as you will. He does look like Robin, though, so that may clue you into something if you've played Fire Emblem. So what we are going to do at this point, we are tracing Gallo and Azura's steps, because we're going to try and find information, because Azura was a little bit over-enthusiastic about going to restricted territories and restricted locations. She was pretty brazen about it, to the point that a few other members in the Recon Guild are pretty much going to echo what she wanted to do. So I mean, they are new recruits to not the Night Ravens, so you take that as you will. We do have to talk to 4 characters here. One of them is on the 2nd floor, so this did actually trip me over when I first played this game. So afterwards, this is going to make a lot more sense when we head back to Zavalna. So remember what happened in Gallo's arc, where not Nikari from Shin Megami Tensei 4 gets arrested. This is where we are at the story at this point in time, so there's Wyatt, who's not Nikari from Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. So this is really the timetable. At this point, Barbarossa and company are escaping through the sewers. So they're on the run, and Rachel says, alright, look, we've got to do something. They're humans. I know you don't like humans, but I like humans and I'm going to save them. I don't care what you think. Rachel does pull a fast one on this guy and says, hey, we're part of Silver Rain, or we're part of the Night Ravens. We want to help out and we need your house. There's a secret little entrance that we need, so we're going to take that and it's going to send us to the sewers. So what was originally a Deus Ex Machina was really just a coincidence, and that's kind of cool. In terms of, I guess, combat archetype, Rachel is an archer, so she has, she has really good focus, has pretty decent speed, but she's not all that tanky, so she's better suited for a back row position. Meanwhile, Jean is pretty much your standard mage. He can do some unarmed skills in an emergency, so that is kind of cool. But for the most part, he's a mage through and through, so he's got high focus, he's got a couple of skills, a couple of Sigimancy innately, so... originally in the old route, we used Jean really extensively as our backup healer to save on the cost of potions. Because in this game, if you don't have a healer, you can just use potions through some other accessories, but it turns out that really wasn't effective as just dealing more damage. So we replaced Jean with Renzo, who can deal not that much damage, but deals considerably more damage and is considerably more hardy than Jean. So yeah, Jean is a remnant, and the usage of Jean is a remnant from the old 3DS days. This is really the only time Rachel really stamps her foot down and tries to save kind of the main cast. So this is really just an establishing character moment. Pay no attention of those two two text boxes. Nothing's gonna happen. Everybody's gonna be okay. Just don't think about it. That was just random yelling because someone was outraged. Their bar was closed. Just don't think about it. In terms of lore, Botter, the big turtle guy, is about to execute Barbarossa, Renzo, and Wyatt on the spot. We don't want to do that, and Jean reveals his intentions, and he says, okay, wait, let's not kill them on the spot. Let's interrogate them for information. Let's put them in the other world called the Cage Realm, our prison planet, and let's just get all the information we can out of them. Of course, Barbarossa and Renzo are immediately disgusted by this, but Wyatt says, wait, I know what you're thinking, Jean. I know what you're doing, and thank you for that, because we're going to live for a little bit longer. So that really does show Jean's character just a little bit. We are back with Gallo and Azura. This is my favorite line in the game. I will show this. This is not a mistranslation. So hamburger was not a mistranslation. That was, I don't know. But anyway, back to the plot. We are going to see a bit of a mirror match between Ignace and Gallo. So really, in context of this game, Ignace is Chemonoplasm Gallo, Vivian is Chemonoplasm Azura, Rachel is cosplayer Azura, and Jean is Fire Emblem Gallo. It's kind of great, really. Alright, so now we got the arc, we have complete freedom, we can explore this realm, we can do whatever we want. We should probably jailbreak everyone first, and this is one of the points where I kind of got slightly miffed at this game, because you are given the ability to go wherever you want until you get railroaded a second later. So we are immediately going to enter autopilot, and we are going to crash into the wall. Shoutouts to Attack on Titan, and we are going to pierce through that wall. We should have built a bigger wall. You know, Attack on Titan's anime is like 8 years old now? Man, so... yeah, this kind of miffed me when I first played this game, because I was led on to believe that once you got the arc, you could explore wherever you want, you could do whatever you wanted. You know, like in a Saga game, but for the most part, we are on a timetable, so we really should save everyone who got captured. This is the Caged Realm. We cannot use the Ornithopter because of vision conditions. This is something that's going to pop up and be a theme throughout the game, something that I really personally don't like, but they do have an in-world explanation for why we can't use the Ornithopter in new areas. This is one of Hamauzu's more electronic works, so I'm going to be a little bit quiet here, just for a second. I mean, for a prison planet, the music is pretty comfy, so that's pretty nice. So what you are seeing in the distance in my field of view is that... No, that's not Bastille. That is... It's a city. I think Bastille is the prison where they hold Wyatt and everyone else. Shoutouts to the band Bastille. One of my favorite songs from them is The Things We Lost in the Fire. Also Pompeii, so if you guys want to listen to something, listen to Bastille. So at this point, we are given a little bit of a new party composition change. So we've got Azura, Gallo, and 3 Kimonoplasm team. This is really the way the game teaches you that every character, while you can build them in any way you'd like, you can give them any weapon, you can give them any sort of loadout, each character has their own archetype, and they prefer it if they stayed that way, because if I open up the menu and actually show your equipment, every character has their own set of unique base stats. Every character is suited differently, and it's up to you to really experiment. They give you all the tools, but they really make it up to you to build your character however you'd like. This is what I like about this game, is that complete sense of freedom. And that is partially from the Saga aspect of it. So we are talking to a bunch of characters. You notice that when Vivian and Ignace specifically talked to Beastmen, they kind of freaked out and they gave them an access code to the prison. This is also something you can do in the game. You can change your party leader. You're going to see that Gallo's walking around right now. You can change it to any character, and characters will react differently depending on who is out in the who is navigating the world map. So that's a little thing that comes into play a little bit later in the game. We're not going to review. Yeah, so continuing on with this, I guess, Saga parallels. Sparking happens randomly. Stat gains happen randomly. You can use talents to help influence and increase the rate at which they spark and at which you gain certain skills and parameters, but for the most part, it is random. This is one of the largest complaints about Saga games, in that you're pretty much just playing a really interactive dice roll. There's a lot of things that you really don't know, but the appeal of Saga speedruns and the appeal of Saga games is the feeling of accomplishment when you learn how to properly manipulate them and manipulate those dice rolls and work within all the dice rolls that you're given. So This is 1 part a test of skill, 1 part catharsis, and 1 part meme. So this is why I run the Alliance Alive, and this is why I still run it to this day. Okay, so the actual place where we went to was Jailberg. That doesn't actually make sense because Berg in German means mine, so jail mine. Just don't think about it. What's actually interesting is that Hamauzu was born and raised in Germany, and all of the songs in Saga Frontier 2 have German names associated with them to kind of bring that point home. So I don't know if he was on the name decision, I guess, committee for that, because he would have immediately pointed out that that doesn't really make sense. Furthermore, Bastille is French. I think that means castle, if I'm not mistaken, or bastion, if I'm not mistaken. I don't actually know French. I know German to sound smart, so that's just me. Oh, okay, it's a spelling. So, yeah. I mean, I just revealed myself that I don't actually know German, so I guess ripperoni. But we are entering Bastille. This is a really nice section in the game. So this is where all of the plot points that we have established up to this moment come together. This is my second favorite place in the game, so I really like this place. Everything ratchets up. All of the stakes really are brought up, and it is just a fun place to be in. It's also a really nice, quiet Hamauzu piece. Hamauzu, in my opinion, is best when he just really has a piano and violin at his disposal. This is just really one of them that I really like, so I'm going to be quiet here for a bit. I mean, the ambience is really Hamauzu's name in the game. Do not pay attention to that weird demonic ritual at the bottom of a prison. Never mind all the coffins. Don't think about it. You don't have to. It's just there for decoration, dude. Anyway, back to this Hamauzu discussion. Hamauzu really does a lot of cool things with this game specifically. He did do some of these songs in collaboration with his daughter, Ayane Hamauzu. I think what they collaborated on the most was Ignition, which is like the theme of this game, so that's really cool. We are in Bastille. There are just a few things that I do want to make sure I get, so I'm going to be a little bit cautious here. But the way to get through Bastille is to get these unlocking spells, and they're sorcery spells that Vivian can use and manipulate, but we do have to get them. At this point, we do get one of the intermediate unlocking spells. That gets us a little bit farther, but the moment we pick it up, a guard shows up and just screams, it's an enemy enemy raid, so we gotta get out of here fast, because we have compromised our jailbreak. Don't pay attention to any of the prisoners. We gotta get out of here. We gotta break out our cool prisoners. Alright, the next ladder section in the game. Alright, hope you guys like your Metal Gear Solid memes. So, we're doing this. Standing on the edge of... No! Okay, that was not my intention. I guess I have to fight a battle chain now. Well, my fault for misremembering Snake Eater, honestly. Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna use Thunder Emission, so hopefully that gets us through. Okay, this is a little bit worrying because I am burning through some of my... Okay, I'm gonna have to enter Precision Mode next. So this is why you absolutely do not want to enter a battle chain at higher levels. Okay, I'm just gonna refight. Okay, okay, I can use this. Okay. Oh my. Yeah, I can't flee from battle chains, so... Okay, that was just me being hasty. Okay, let's be a little bit cautious here. I guess this is the price of my memes. Well, I'm now a runner denied his memes, so I guess rip. Okay, we should be fine now. Oh, sweet, we procced Circle Swing. So, one of the skills that I intended for Ignace to proc throughout the game is called Circle Swing. Circle Swing is a pretty good area of effect attack, so we're going to be using that a lot. Alright, that is good. Alright, where were we? That's right. Well, the exit's there, so... Well, we have another chance later. So at this point in the story, Jean was not counting on the jailbreak to happen, or at least the alarm to be tripped. So Jean is thinking of a way to jailbreak Barbarossa and Renzo, but right now Wyatt's a little bit too closely guarded. So all of these are happening independently of one another. We just happen to jailbreak everyone at the same time, so this is going to be pretty sick. Okay, this is the next item I want to get, so I want to be careful here. Okay, just gonna be a little bit careful. Oh my. Okay, I'm gonna reload this quick save. Yeah, that's kind of rip. But I'm just gonna restart the GOG client. So right now, what I'm really worried about is not having enough SP to get through those two fights. In general practice, if you enter a battle chain and you're just not sure, just restart. It is infinitely easier and more accessible to do in the remaster version. I know when I was running the 3DS version, a bad battle chain was basically rip run for me because when I was recording 3DS version, you can't just reset for whatever reason. The homebrew software that you do have to use is a little bit finicky. Since I was a speedrunner denied his memes, I'm going to continue this meme. Alright, where were we? Standing on the edge of... Okay, you know what? I'm not just gonna sing Nuclear anymore. I'm cursed. You know what? I'm just gonna sing. I mean, really, this is the one part that does get a lot of people. So, if you are having some trouble, at least in Bastille, it's largely because you are climbing up a lot of ladders, and the battle chain is the battle chain happens in 3 dimensions, and it's really hard to gauge just a 3-dimensional battle chain radius. So you kind of want to be as cautious as possible. I thought see, right there, that should have been a battle chain, but it wasn't for whatever reason. So that's where it does get a little bit, a bit of a gray area. So that's kind of weird. Wait, no, I'm supposed to go down. There we go. Like, I'm genuinely not salty about the battle chains. I'm genuinely salty about being denied my meme. So, I guess rip. Alright, so right now, I'm going to take a safety rest because our health is pretty low. So I just want to bring back everybody's health up to max. Normally, you don't have to take this, but because we did enter that battle chain, and we want to be as safe as possible because the next 2 fights are going to be a little bit harsh. Alright, so we are going to do this jailbreak. The first thing we want to target are the enemies in the back row. So, it looks like I don't have a row setup, but that's just because of a default setup that everybody is in attack row in the front formation as soon as you start this game. But enemies do follow their own row setup. The reason why we want to target the back row enemies is because they can use a skill called Bird Strike, which at this point is a one-shot to our characters. So we want to avoid that as much as possible, so that's good. The also annoying thing that we have to deal with are the enemies in the front row. The sword user specifically can use Blade Block, which is like a shield, and that protects all of the other enemies. So we definitely don't want that to happen. Alright, that was the first fight. That was pretty easy, but the next fight is going to be hard. What you just saw there was that one of the beast men did figure out that we are in cahoots with a demon. Botter kind of panics because a demon is asking to set Wyatt free. So Botter does not like that at all. And he just wants everyone dead. So we are in a little bit of a better situation now, so we can just auto-fight through this. Yeah, I mean, Tiggy is just dealing huge amounts of damage, so that's why I like using Tiggy with precision mode. So that's nice. Okay, next team, we are just gonna go back to Wyatt. That's fine. And what you're gonna hear next, you're gonna hear two different sound effects. One of them sounds like a wibbly wobbly noise. The other is a high-pitched ping sound. The high-pitched ping sound means that the enemy is effective against that damage type, and a wibbly wobbly sound means that the enemy is strong against that type. So notice how the physical attacks have this weird wibbly wobbly sound, but Jean's light shot sigil is dealing effective damage. So the fights with the other team are pretty straightforward, so nothing to worry about. Okay, so okay, we should be fine now. Yeah, with Gene and the others, it just takes a while because the enemy is pretty resistant to physical attacks. He goes down pretty easy, but it is another clue to the players that every character has their own niche, so you should probably play it to their strengths. Okay, this is another set, and this is a little bit worrying, so because we have 3 archers in the back, so we want to make sure... Oh, triple paradox. We want to make sure all of the enemies in the back row are taken care of, because even with our higher health, these guys still pose a threat. Yeah, the attack that Barbarossa was just hit with Bird Strike nearly killed him, so that is something we want to avoid, and thankfully it hit one of the tankier characters. Alright, so now that we've dealt with all the guards, Botter's only choice is to run with Wyatt in tow. We are going to take a rest first, and we are going to switch up our team. This is going to be the first set of team changes, and it's going to be pretty nice. So we're going to get all of our strongest attackers, and we are going to replace Gallo. We're going to replace Gallo and Azura with both Jean and Barbarossa. The current world record, to my knowledge, varies on category to category. I've separated the categories into consoles. So I think Tata Tata Potato has the 3DS and PS4 categories. I have the world record for the PC category, but yeah, the PC category is largely free game because I'm using an outdated strat, and I did have a pretty bad final boss fight. So Tata Tata Potato does have the world record for the PS4 and the 3DS versions. The PS4 version is at sub 250 to my knowledge, and the 3DS version with a slower load speed has about, I think, sub 310. I want to say the Nintendo Switch speed run world record is about 345, and that's also free game because I don't run the Switch version anymore. Alright, so this is really the first hard boss fight we're going to get, and at this point in the game, Wyatt is in a hostage situation. So Wyatt makes the very high IQ play of you can't have a hostage situation if there is no hostage, so he sacrifices himself in order to let everybody else fight to the fullest without having to worry about his own safety. This is a pretty crazy fight, so it can go south pretty quickly, but usually it doesn't. Okay, do I have enough for Final Smite? Yes, I do. So that little sparkly sound you heard is your cue to enter the ignition state. And I do not have enough for Tiggy, so I'm just going to continue using Hound Killer, and that is good. Excellent. Alright, so now at this point in the game, we are given full license to explore the rest of the game. Our task is to rebuild the Alliance, connect the entire world together through the Kylo network, destroy those strange ether gears around every world, and save humanity. This is where the run decides to go super fun, super easily. So we are given full license to name the ship as well. So this is a shout out to the previous run, or the current run, both Saga 2020 and the Suikoden run. So I'm going to name the ship Suikoden 2020. So there is a lot of lore coming up, so I will refresh you when we do have the chance. Oh, alright, we don't actually name the ship yet, so I think it's a little bit later. Right now, our team is saying, alright, this is a lot to take in, so let's just take a rest. We need to unite all of the guilds. They're all separated throughout the world, so we're going to have to find a way to physically meet up with them and get them to join our team, because the leader of the Night Ravens is dead and we have to take up his reins. Meanwhile, Vivian has found out that the strange purple disco-looking things are ether gears, and they are of a demonic energy source. We don't know why demons would be messing around with the humans, so we have to stop and get to the bottom of the ether gear situation, which just so happens to be across the world as well, so we're killing two birds with one stone. Now, at this point, we need a name for the ship, so I'm going to name it, I'm gonna meme a little bit, so let's do, hang on, alright. Suikoden 2020. Excellent. Shout out to Saga 2020, which happened a few weeks before. This is, again, a Saga game written by a Suikoden writer. Alright, now we are going to start memeing, and we are going to cross the BT territory, get through some of the dangerous dark current, and enter the next realm. The next realm I do want to set up, it is the Snow Realm. This is the next area in the game where we have to go. but you can explore wherever you want except the top left corner of the map. The top left corner of the map is a story gate, and we can't really go there until much later in the game. So we're going to set up shop here, and what this is going to do is give us a quick travel point. So that way, once we do all of our miscellaneous errands, we can just head back to the Snow Realm and continue the story with very little interruption. So this is a really nice trick. You go here, and you enable an event flag. And now we have the Snow Realm as a quick travel point through our arc. The next thing we are going to do is get objectively the best character in this game, Robbins. Robbins is the little mascot, the double bird pog on the bottom of the screen. He is the best character in the game. He needs no introduction. All you need to know is that he is the best character in the game. Yeah, without Robbins, this run would be considerably harder. I will discuss Robbins in depth as soon as we get out of this area. In this area, you will notice this weird little, like, black hole kind of thing. This is basically a portal to BT territory, and once we get in, we enter the BT's beach. In this area, it's dangerous. Every fight we get into is automatically a battle chain. We cannot run from it. We cannot quick save. This is pretty much a death sentence if you linger here for too long. So I try to quick save here, and it says, hey, this place is ruled by chaos. You're not getting out of here, buddy. We want to get one item called the Scrap Blade. This is one of the best weapons I pick up in the speedrun. It is a greatsword that is basically just a chunk of metal that gives us 2 strength innately, which will really power up Barbarossa. I'm going to be really quiet here because I do not want to mess up here. The Water Devils, they move kind of like Pong balls. They are very unpredictable, in my opinion. You just want to be as careful as possible with these guys. Okay, excellent. What Robbins was here in the Water Devil, or the BT Beach, was that he just wanted to save his kid from the beach. So Robbins, again, is the best character. He is a loving father. He will go protect his child at all costs. He is the father that everybody wants to be. This song is Ignition. This is the song that Ayane Hamauzu and Masashi Hamauzu worked collaboratively on. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay. Alright, not too hard. But once we kill all of the BTs, we are repatriated back into the world, and we open up a chiral node. These nodes can be used to set up guild towers, but we really don't know about them all that much yet, because at this point in the story, we don't know what they are. We just know that it's a pretty good place to set up a chiral node. As a reward, we are going back to Robin's home because we want to see his kid returned nice and safe. I also really like the Snow Realm theme, so it's nice and relaxing. Again, Hamauzu nails it with the ambience and the atmosphere in this game. He also did Legend of Legacy, which is just as atmospheric and relaxing, if not even more. So, if you are interested in those games, do give them a listen. 100 Heroes is the speedrun marathon that is done in celebration of Eiyuden Chronicle. This game in particular is written by the Suikoden writer, but throughout the rest of this run, you are going to see Suikoden games. So this is a celebration of all things Suikoden and all things related to the Suikoden brand. Also, the kanji on the banners say Tairyo, which is a big catch. So shoutouts to jisho.org. If you need a good translation for Japanese kanji, jisho.org has got you covered. RPG Limit Break is not sponsored by gshow.org, or nor is affiliated by gshow.org. But I just use gshow.org because it's pretty cool. But now that we have Robbins in our party, we have one of the best party members in the game. He has a boatload of health, coming in at 360 health and 40 SP. For comparison, the next tanky character is Barbarossa at 250 health and 26 SP. Barbarossa is basically Romancy Saga 3's Boston. You know, they're both beast types, but they are a little bit on the gimmicky side. So we first want to go back to the Rain Realm, and we want to go into another Water Devil Den, because we are going to get the strongest weapon in the game. At least in the base game. This is pretty hidden, and this is something that I found when I was first routing the Alliance Alive. So we want to go along the coast and enter that big Water Devil Den. This is a pretty dangerous one, so we want to be careful when we enter. The item that we are getting is called the Exceed Knife. This is the strongest sword in the game, and we will use this until the end of the game. So I gotta be careful here. Wait for the message. There it is, the Exceed Knife. And we are gonna get out of this Water Devil Den and go back topside. Yeah, the strongest weapon in the game is just sitting there. This is one of the many fun things about Saga games, and just all the freedom you get. So this is going to be a godsend in just about every single part of this game. We are going to go back to the Burning Realm quickly, and we are going to step off here. I want to go to the Burning Realm early. You can do the Burning Realm, Rain Realm in any order, but I want to take the Burning Realm quickly because I do have a few broken weapons, and I do want to make sure that I have all of my bases covered, because going to the Blacksmith Guild early enables you to rest up and repair your broken items that have been broken through using the final strike or the ignition state. As I mentioned before, the ignition state is your limit break state. So if you enter the ignition state and you use a final strike, the weapon that you are currently using will break. You can no longer use that weapon until it is repaired by the Blacksmith Guild. So I'm going to get them first just for a little bit of safety. It is a little bit of a time loss, and it's negligible at most because you still have to go here, but I'm taking this for absolute safety. Alright, next we are going to change our party. We are going to replace Robbins, and we are going to replace Tiggy. This should be good. And let me get the equipment up. I'm just equipping all of the items that we've acquired up to this point. I'm giving Renzo the Exceed Knife for now. The Exceed Knife is going to be traded between a lot of people really quickly, but for now, Barbarossa has his backup weapon fully slotted. The trash sword, the scrap blade that we were talking about earlier. So right now we can use the Ornithopter that we got way early in the game, and we're going to do a little bit of movement tech that I like. Alright, this is going to be some really sick movement tech, so I love the Ornithopter. Okay, gonna hopscotch over. Oh, nope, not good. So I use the Ornithopter to quickly disengage from enemies too, so... Okay, move up, halfway through, and we're gonna use the Ornithopter again. And this is gonna skip a little bit of walking. So in terms of Ornithopter, I guess tech, in my opinion, if you get more than 4 flaps out of an Ornithopter, you've saved movement time. So. This is kind of an Ornithopter puzzle. It's pretty basic. Again, we don't use the Ornithopter all that much, but whenever we do use it, it's pretty sick. We're gonna hopefully do like 2 sick skips in the Burning Realm when we are done with this area. But the whole plan is to go up and scale up that volcano. Shout out to Todd Howard by climbing that mountain. We are going to scale the volcano, and we are going to break the ether gear inside this volcano. Okay. Someone is asking if rolls are useful in this run. So rolls are kind of like the different attack, defense, and guard states. Or attack, support, and guard states. The support rolls and all the rolls are useful, just not as much as you would think. We do have a roll switch at the end of the game in a final menu before the final boss. But for the most part, if you're not in all attack, you're doing something wrong. I do switch to some of the pre-built formations, but if at all possible, I would like to stay in all attack front row at all times. Alright, this is the first pretty challenging fight. All ether gears are guarded by some sort of water devil or some sort of monster. So some of these fights aren't free. Out of all of them, I'd argue that the Burning Realm is the easiest. So we're going to take a quick save just in case I've done anything wrong. Okay. Alright, and now you're going to see a little bit of what we use with Robins. Robins has this support skill called Courageous Flapping, which increases everybody's stats. Increases, I think, strength, endurance, and I think sense, which is Sigimancy. What we want to do is pretty much just go all out. Okay, not bad. Okay, oh, that is actually okay. Barbarossa is down, but I do have a final stab enabled. Okay, Sword Dancing is procced, that is excellent. Stab, okay. Okay, I procced Sword Dancing on Renzo, and that is something I absolutely need. Okay. Excellent. So some of these fights do get a little bit stressful with not, getting HP procs and skill procs. So I guess on a scale of chill beats to relax to BB is stressed out. This is kind of an MC Ride Scream compilation 2.0. So it's not bad. Could be a lot worse, but you do want to stay on your toes at all time. At least in the beginning of the game, so I do want to actually do another menu just to make sure we have enough SP coming up with Renzo. Actually, no, I'm going to wait. Okay, I'm going to... Alright, this is going to be some sick Ornithopter tech. So that is a lot of distance that we did cover, and hopefully I do get good tap tempo, because I'm going to show you another sick skip that we can do. It is really hard to pull off, so if we fail it, we're just going to take the walk of shame. If we do it, it's going to be really cool, because we're going to fly all the way to the coast, and this saves us a ton of walking time. Oh, we about to do it, we about to do it. Heyo! This is why I love the Ornithopter, and this is why I am livid the Ornithopter does not get any more use outside of the speedrun. Alright, the next area is we're going back to the Rain Realm. So remember that one door I showed you in the beginning of the game that I told you not to think about? Turns out we have to think about it. So we're going to go back and we're going to take 2 birds with 1 stone and get the Library Guild to join our team. The Library Guild is... You'd think it's completely useless, because when you level up the Library Guild, all you get as a reward are are lore updates, and these are just like, flavor text character updates, like where Gallo got his cape from. So you think it's completely useless, but you level up the library guild enough times, you can unlock some really broken stuff for other guilds. So when you are leveling up the library guild and other guilds, do keep in mind the level of the library guild. So that has cost me a lot of annoyances when I first casual played this. That being said, if you are looking to casual play this, there is a massive Google Docs resource. It is a gigantic spreadsheet that is both a resource on weapons, all the skills that you have, the walkthrough of this game, all of the 170 recruitable characters that you can get in this game. It is an amazing godsend. I would not have been able to make this speedrun without the help of Ed Sean, who was also running this before me, and the Google Docs speedrun, which also gave me the location of the Exceed knife that I just didn't know in a casual play. So really big shout outs to Ed Sean, who was the first runner of this game. All I did was optimize his strats. I did not do anything other than optimize. He came up with all of these strats that you are seeing. So, that's really my role in this speedrun. I'm just here because I was asked to. So this is the hardest Ether Gear battle in the game, and is also really lore intensive as well. Okay, I'm gonna make another quick save. I do not like this fight. Oh. Alright. So you're gonna see this one beast character. This character killed Azura's mom. So Renzo and Barbarossa just go off immediately when they see Esmeralda. Nobody likes Esmeralda, and Esmeralda is going to play dirty by summoning all of these BTs for us. So in this step, I want to enter Rapid Blow. For defense, I'm going to enter Block. Okay, full swing on the seahorse-looking guys. Okay, one shot. It's good. Okay, excellent. Okay, I'm going to switch to All Out now. Battle Drain. Okay, this should be okay. Sometimes Renzo and... Oh my god, that's Onslaught! Okay, I got one of the better skills in the game for Barbarossa. So, legit streamer luck is happening right now. Okay, that's fine. Excellent. Okay, we got the necessary ignition states. End of beginnings is going to deal about 2k damage, so this is going to easily kill this guy. Easy. Alright. So normally that fight, if you do it, at least in the intended order, with Rain Realm first, you will more than likely wipe if you don't get lucky. So the reason why I also opted to do the Burning Realm fight first, not only because I wanted to get, or repair on all my equipment, but it's also to get a few skills. With Renzo's case, I got Sword Dancing early, so Renzo was able to deal a lot of damage out of the box in this fight. So it was just a really good luck that I got Onslaught for Barbarossa, because I'm going to be using Onslaught for just about the rest of the game if I do not proc Demolition and I do not proc Smithereens. In my previous practice runs, I did not proc Smithereens or Demolition, so all I had to use was Onslaught. So this game can be a little bit cruel when it wants to be. Here's some more Ornithopter tech to save us some movement. And the next thing I want to get is a talent purchase on Renzo, particularly Expert and Master to save on SP costs. And I want to get Haggling on Vivian. Vivian is going to be really useful with Haggling because she saves about 25% on every item you purchase. The money route is actually extremely strict in this game, so if you forget Haggling at any point in the game, it is rip run. There are some safety backups for money, but it is very far and few in between. Remember those two characters that I told you not to think about with Jean and Rachel. Turns out if you do not intervene with an upcoming fight outside of the bar, the two characters that gave the Ornithopter to Gallo and... I want 4 this time. I'm taking an extra medicine pack for safety, but anyway, the two characters that give the Ornithopter to Gallo and Azura in the beginning of the game, if you do not break up a fight that is outside the bar in Jean and Rachel's chapter, one of them dies, and you cannot recruit them. So your choices matter, especially because if you let them die and let one character die, you get a very powerful weapon called the Demon Slayer. And the Demon Slayer is going to be Renzo's backup weapon throughout the rest of this game, at least until the final boss. So with a lot of these characters, a lot of the choices, if you play this game, make all the choices you want to, because as some people are saying, there is a New Game Plus, and there are 2 versions of New Game Plus in this game. New Game Plus carries over all of your current stats, like all of your health, all of your equipment, all the talent points that you've acquired, and money. EX New Game is a different new game. You will start fresh with default stats, except that you will have all of your talent points that you have invested throughout the game, and it will carry over. All of your characters will get a complete refund on all of their talent points, so characters who are innately built in a certain role, like Barbarossa, who has a bunch of axe skills to begin with, all those will get refunded, and you can build any character however you'd like. If you are building this game, and you are playing this game, and you want to play more of this game, also Sorensen goes all out with all these talents. Anyway, if you are playing this game and you want to replay it, I highly recommend playing EX New Game first, and then New Game Plus once you've built your characters to however way you feel like. This is going to be a 6 skip. Hopefully I can do this. This is the longest flight that the Ornithopter will be in, so I just do not want to mess up. Oh yeah, the EX New Games and New Game Plus categories are completely... rip. Those 2 categories are completely free. Yeah, they're free to take, so... Okay, we are done with the Rain Realm. We can now enter the Caged Realm. The Caged Realm, before we took the Ether Gear that was at the top of the castle, or the top of Bastille, we couldn't fly, but now that the fog has cleared up, we have enough vision to fly. So this is also a really nice, clever trick, because the floor in the Caged Realm is slightly sloped downwards, and you can get a pretty large amount of air if you just use the Ornithopter. So that's pretty nice. So remember the advanced spell sigil, or spell that we got earlier on in Bastille. This comes to play because we get a lot of money, and we get the only shield upgrade in this game. Originally, we did have to go for another shield that was a little bit out of the way and did cost one pretty tough fight, or 5% of your maximum health and SP because you have to make a deal with a literal devil. We don't do that anymore because the shield isn't that useful, and the warrior shield is much more useful. The reason why we take Caged Realm last is because there's a lot of backtracking. If you've noticed, I'm trying to use the Ornithopter whenever and wherever I can, but if you notice with all of the other guilds, I had to find a way to backtrack one way or another. Once you get all of the guilds, there's a small visual bug. So once you see, you notice that the layering of Gallo is superimposed on the Ornithopter. If you get stopped and a dialog box appears, Gallo does pop out from the layering, so that's just a weird little thing I noticed. But anyway, once you get all of the guilds onto your side, you will automatically return to the Ark. So this is going to save quite a bit of time backtracking, because if we are backtracking through the Caged Realm, it is about a 2 to 3 minute time loss. This is another point of showing Jean's kind of slimy nature. The Guildmaster of the Sigimancy Guild doesn't like to lend out her help unless she gets a really good deal out of it. Jean says, you know what? We've got 2 demons on our side. We're gonna basically use them, and you're basically gonna simp for us now that we have demons on our team. And that pretty much wows Tabitha, the guild leader in yellow, to join our team. Because otherwise, without Vivian and Ignace, she would have never helped us and would have never agreed to help us. So, this does come into play a little bit later. So, we do get a pretty nice break soon. Everybody gets a nice 2-minute bathroom break coming up soon. But this is why I also like this run, because it does give you plenty of breaks in between. Not that much button mashing. So, as I've said before, this game is really accessible until the very end when it becomes a saga game. So, what we are doing next is making the Ark kind of the node and the central, I guess, base of operations for all of 5 guilds. All of these towers represent the different guilds. We can see the progress of those guilds if we go into them. We can also now start recruiting and assigning team members. This is the Suikoden aspect of the game, and this is something I'm really excited to talk about in the 100 Heroes Strong Marathon. Remember that this is a Suikoden game, and this was written by the Suikoden writer. So this is where we can recruit up to 170 different NPCs throughout the game, and we can assign them to different guilds. Each NPC has a series of 3 guilds that they can be assigned to. Really, it is up to you to find all of these characters. It is up to you to talk to these characters, recruit them, and assign them to your team. With every recruit assigned, you slightly increase the guild level. These will give you absolutely broken stuff if you invest enough into them. To wit, if you get to level 7 in the Sigimancy Guild, you will unlock the absolute strongest spell in the game just about for free. All you need to do is invest in the Sigimancy Guild. You can get some really broken weapons. At this point, you can also requisition weapons on... Oh, that's right. You can also requisition weapons for the Blacksmith Guild to build, and weapons have 3 types of quality: standard quality, exceptional, which increases, I believe, damage, masterwork, which increases stats. EX is both high quality, which increases damage, masterwork increases stats, and exceptional increases both attack and stats. So you can really trick out some of your party members really easily if you invest in these guilds. So it's really sick. We do use the recruit mechanic a little bit in the game. So remember those 3 the octopi that I told you not to kill early when we were in Blue's Oasis? It turns out that those octopi are recruitable, so if you do not kill them, you can recruit them into your party and they can be assigned to a guild. So you've got a lot of characters at your disposal, and we want to at least reach Tactics level 5 in the context of the speedrun, at least for safety. I know that the other speedrunner, Tata Tata Potato, does not actually recruit anyone, so you are on insanely thin ice when you do this. When I enter this Hakune Castle, you will have a 2-minute break starting now. I will be back, and please stay hydrated. Alright, we are back. we still have to wait, so this is the whole meme of the break. You get about 2 to 3 minutes of rest because you're just going to have to wait out your jail sentence for 2 short minutes. In the meantime, please stay hydrated. So in fact... Excellent. Alright, so all you have to do is just wait out the text box. So this was actually a front, not for Suikoden, but this is a front for Ghost of Tsushima. We are basically in a Ghost of Tsushima situation. It gets really weird and it gets really fun. This is my absolute favorite part of this game. This is where you get separated from a party again, where you have to really think about your team composition, and you have one of the best fights I have the joy of showing off to you. So I absolutely love this section. So I will do nothing but gush about this section. Like, you got some like really sick skips, you've got some really sick menus, you have a lot of stuff to purchase. So it is all around a fun and wild ride. Alright, at this point, we are in Hakude Castle. Hakude Castle is sort of the last bastion of humanity, where humanity has managed to defend themselves against the demons for so long. They absolutely hate demons and any sort of beastmen, but Jean, being the really nice character that he is, basically says, hey, we've got some demons, can you throw them into prison for us? So, yeah, if you do that, we will be on your side. Everybody dislikes that. Yeah, so that's Jean's character, and Vivian and Ignace are pretty much in the prison cell. Jean's a nice character, please believe me. Alright, so we are going to be learning a little bit more kanji with WinterHof. The one that you're going to see soon is Sword. The other one is 800 Shop, which is actually a pun. That means greengrocer in Japanese, so I didn't know that, so that's pretty cool. Those are the only two that I actually know. Like, the one outside the inn, I don't know the kanji, because it's just way too complicated. But yeah, like, Jean's kind of a sellout. I don't like Jean, but everyone else is cool. The next part that we are doing is we want to help humanity. So we're gonna have to find one of the best mounts in this game, the Snow Rabbit. The only way you can summon the Snow Rabbit is by feeding him snow carrots. Alright, so what we're gonna have to do is go north and travel to the furthest igloo. I'm going to talk a little bit at length about the nitty-gritty of the battle system because I haven't gotten a chance to talk about it. So, I have mentioned time and time again, this is kind of a saga-based game. So you have a few general things like you have base stats, but you can't really increase your base stats through leveling up or through fighting. The way you increase your base stats are through equipment. And this is really important because very well-crafted equipment by the Blacksmith Guild will increase some stats, some of them by 1, but some of the really strong weapons will increase your stats by multiple points. There are, I think, 5 cardinal stats. So you have Strength, which affects melee damage, Focus, which affects Sigimancy and piercing type damage, Endurance, which is physical defense and the likelihood of guard skills to proc, Sense, which is sorcery and the likelihood of preventing status ailments if they're inflicted upon you, and Agility, which is turn speed. In terms of damage types, you have a lot of damage types. For the melee type attacks, you have Pierce, Crush, and Slash. So enemies are going to be weak to different types of them. Different weapon types are available to you, like you have an axe, which does slashing damage, but there are some weapons, like the sword, that can do slash and pierce damage, depending on what skill you have. For the most part, I don't really think about that. So, in context, you do want to think about it in terms of your other characters, because resistance is really important if you want it on your tank and you want to live. This is the Snow Rabbit. I'm going to be quiet here. This is the best character in the game, aside from Robin's. Please enjoy the fluff. It's great too, because every time you jump, you get this little noise. Like, look at this thing. Also, the back looks like Peter Griffin, but just don't think about it too hard. So the reason why we have to get the Snow Rabbit is because we want to traverse all of the ledges in the Snow Realm. Without the Snow Rabbit, we can't get there, so... I'm gonna be quiet for the oboos. So beautiful. The Snow Rabbit also has this very unique property where if you enter a battle with the Snow Rabbit will immediately attack and deal 250 damage to all enemies. For reference, the Snow Rabbit's attack can one-shot a lot of enemies in the Snow Realm just out of the box. I don't like using that in a speedrun because it takes a while and it is a time loss to begin with if you're getting into a fight. The next section is going to be a shout out to Hideo Kojima's own Hideo Kojima brand, a Hideo Kojima stealth game, Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear Solid, a Hideo Kojima game. So this is also a really nice gameplay change and also a shout out to Legend of Legacy. So in Legend of Legacy, if you want to run away from a fight, you would immediately go back to the beginning of a map. So likewise, if you get caught in this section, you will go back to the beginning of the map. So we're gonna have to infiltrate the demon camp. Shoutouts to Ghost of Tsushima, but we only have to bring the sneakiest characters in our group. That happens to be Renzo and Rachel. So if you are at home, please listen to your favorite Metal Gear Solid music. Okay, that was pretty painless. If you want to explore everything in that demon camp, you are really better off exploring it later in the game. There's really nothing of value right now, but this is where the game does begin to at least pick up in terms of story, because afterwards, Ignace and Vivian have a pretty small discussion. Oh, I'm gonna be quiet here. This is one of my favorite themes, and that happens to be Vivian's themes. It's a very nice, calming theme that we really don't get to hear all that often. So, wanted to give you guys the chance to enjoy that too. Now that we have some of the information on the demon camp, specifically a supply ledger, it turns out we have enough information to fight back against the demons, or at least show the demons a show of force. So what we're going to do is, when we first entered the Snow Realm, we had to bypass one of the towns on the way to Hakuna Castle. This is really where the battlefield is being set. Oh, and I completely forgot that we have to get Vivian and Ignace back. This is also at the point where Jean also says, hey, remember those two demon prisoners that we told you to like lock in a prison? They're actually our friends, and I'd actually appreciate it if we'd have them back. Of course, the old guy, Juza, freaks out and saying, wait, you've bamboozled us. I'm not okay with this. Meanwhile, the princess is like, okay, I get it. I think I understand what you're doing. You can have your friends back. So, all is forgiven. All's well that ends well, right? Jean gets away with being a little bit rude. Wait, what do I have to do? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to go back to Yukiya. Yeah, sometimes I get a little bit confused in the whole process of this area. Sometimes it works. I just forgot the whole pace of this because, you know, I'm having fun. I'm having a meme. I'm enjoying. So now we're supposed to go back to We're supposed to go back to the battlefield out in the beginning of the Snow Realm. Alright, cool. Alright, so now that we have the Snow Rabbit, we can traverse the cliffs a little bit easier, and we can save a little bit of time. There's really no really big time skip here. It's just try not to jump too many cliffs a little bit too eagerly, because if you jump the wrong cliffs, you can end up north instead of west, so that can be kind of an annoyance. But otherwise, pretty easy. And just a nice, relaxing romp back to the battlefield. So, no spoilers for Ghost of Tsushima, but spoilers for Ghost of Tsushima. What we're going to see here is we've got a plan, and the plan is to kind of be underhanded, and when the demons start charging, we're going to blow the bridge from below them. So, Barbarossa is going to volunteer because he's going to attract the least attention because he is a beastman, so it looks like, from the demon's perspective, he's just kind of doing some initial scouting. He's also a frog, so he can probably survive the cold temperatures once he jumps in the water, so amen. It's also some pretty nice sound design. You've got some snow here, you've got some wooden floor here. Just a nice touch. We are 2 hours into the run, but we're going to split up our team, and we're going to be pretty big brain here. So our vanguard is going to be one person, and I volunteer Gallo for that. Our rear guard is going to be one person, and I'm going to volunteer Renzo for that. We're good. That's all we need. We're going to win. Absolutely going to win. Like, full confidence. Even though Gallo is still on, like, basic equipment, we're going to win. Alright, so I'm going to be a little bit careful here and enter this fight. I want to be a little bit careful here and just let the enemy walk into me. And we're going to go slash. Oh wow, you didn't die in one turn. So normally the Beastman will do Twin Spike and one-shot Gallo. But yeah, it's not as funny, honestly. But looks like we do have a plan. We're going to blow up the bridge. Turns out we don't, because this one demon called Rouge, not related to Roge the Bat, is going to try to kill us all. But don't worry, we're going to send in Gallo, and he's going to save the day. He saves the day so hard that he dies in one hit. So, just as planned, because these two fights you can actually skip. So, shoutouts to Ed Sean for showing that to me. So, that's a nice, easy skip. Turns out, either way you're going to lose, because you fight enough demons, they'll say, alright, look, I think we fought enough demons, let's go head back. But if you also win against the fight against Rouge, she'll say, wow, humanity is strong. I'm going to go retreat. So either way, we do have to go back to Hakuna Castle. We do have to make a last stand at the castle itself. And we are going to have quite a bit of fun. It's okay, Gallo's going to be really important really soon. So, yes, he got some humiliation, but he's going to get some of his revenge pretty soon. So what is going to happen next is my favorite part of the run and my favorite part of the game. So we are going to defend Hakuna Castle, but we're going to have to split up into 3 groups. The first team is going to directly guard Princess Yukia. We do not want anyone but Azura on that team. The other 2 teams that are going to go down the stairs and at least get a 2-pronged defense on the castle are going to have our strongest party members. And this is really where this is where the run can get really variable. So the first thing I'm going to do is get 3 Shogun Armors and 4 War Gauntlets. The next thing I do want are 12 Antidotes for, well, I'm going to get 9 for safety, 7 Strong Medicines for now, and I want 11 Power Syrups. I want a total of 12 Power Syrups. Afterwards, I do want to get a Tourniquet Clasp, a Penguin Clasp, and that is it. And we're going to have some pretty sick menus, so I'm going to make a quick save right here. So all of these equipment, and we're going to have some really big menus. So we are ready for this next area. So the first thing we want to do, Squad 1, is only Azura and Azura only. We don't want to change our equipment. The next squad is going to be Gallo, Renzo, Jean, Rachel, and Vivian. This is something new that I've done, and I've done in my practice runs. So we're going to equip Gallo with a Demon Slayer. We do not have the Exceed Knife. Okay. We're going to have to sleep before then, but I can fix this. We want the... No, we're fine. I do want to unequip the medicine pack, however. Third squad is going to be Tiggy and everybody else. We want to change their equipment, and we are going to trick out all of Ignace's equipment because he has been stripped of his equipment since he was a prisoner. Remember that Ignace is going to be our designated tank, so he's going to get the Penguin Clasp and the Medicine Pack. Barbarossa is our designated attacker, so he's going to get a Tourniquet Clasp, which increases attack, and also a Medicine Pack. Medicine Packs are used to take any amount of items from the inventory for free. But okay, okay, I think we'll be fine here. Alright, we don't have the Exceed Knife, so it's going to be a little bit risky, but I think we can make it because we have the Demon Slayer, and I can probably just swap out the Demon Slayer on Gallo. So you're supposed to have the Exceed Knife on Renzo, so that way he can deal a huge amount of damage, but I'm going to have to be a little bit cautious and just swap a few equipment with Gallo and Renzo. So this is where you get your moral dilemma. Do you want to save everyone in Hakuna Castle, or do you want to make sure that no enemy gets to Azura's position? In the speedrun, we're going to have to sacrifice everybody. So I have Tiggy here because I want to do a very quick auto fight. So I'm going to have Full Swing, and we're going to use Hard Rain on Robbins. This is going to attack all party members, and this is going to very quickly deal with all the enemies. Nice and easy. That is the power of Robbins, mostly. Alright, with equipment I'm going to have to do a quick replacement. Alright, this is going to have to do. So normally you get a little bit more damage with Renzo, but I have noticed that if you can proc a few things like Circle Swing on Ignace, or even better, Break Shot, and okay. So this should be enough. Nice, I proc Bear Barrage. That's going to be really helpful in a few emergency situations. So right now, the fights are a little bit easy. What we do have to worry about is our SP. We don't regenerate that much SP, and this is why I purchased 12 power syrups. Ideally, I want to use at least 4 power syrups, at most 4 power syrups, because I want to reserve the power syrups for another part of the game. Again, we gotta let this guy, we gotta let this guy go. So we have to protect Azura, because Azura cannot fight against these guys. If I make a miss menu, that's Rip Run. So again, just press select, and you can just fight at will. Auto Battle is smart enough to remember your commands, so it's really nice and really handy. Tiggy, I put Tiggy on this team because Tiggy doesn't do that much damage, so I want to spread out the damage evenly between the two teams. So that's why Renzo is on the second team with 5 party members, because without him and without sword dancing, I can't really deal that much damage, and I can't comfortably beat the next area without Renzo. Here, you want to be really careful, because if you approach, you have to go into the house, but if you approach the woman further, you'll automatically enter that fight. If you automatically get out, you will enter this fight without any sort of choice. Okay, I want to be careful here and target specifically the 2 skeletons because they can sleep your party. Next, break shot, thunder emission. Okay. Good. That's fine. So really the only character in this group that can multi-target is Rachel. And Rachel really doesn't deal that much damage in comparison to Robin's. So, okay, that's good. We should be fine. Like, this is an intense part of the game, so I love this part. I love this part. We're gonna try and keep about more than 10 SP on at least everyone. Oh, this is Punished Gallo. This is another character that we can get, Shiki. Shiki is one of the strongest attackers in the game. He is a secret character, and compared to Robin's, he's easier to get. All you have to do is just talk to him after the sequence. Shiki is going to be replacing Jean, and is, again, the strongest character in the game, because he comes with some really useful skills, like Reckoning. Reckoning is one of the strongest sword skills in the game because it automatically buffs your own attack. This is something I'm going to use well into the end game, so yeah. If you like Shiki, you're going to see way more of him. Kind of looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi, too. Alright, so far on SP we are okay. I am a little bit worried about Vivian's SP, but we should be fine. Just a quick safety save, just out of paranoia. Again, you want to target the animals first and then the Beastman second, because you just want to kill the weaker ones first. They're going to be less of an annoyance, they're going to deal less damage, and you're going to be okay. Okay. So this is 100 Heroes Strong Marathon. This is a celebration of Suikoden games and games written by the game written by the Suikoden writer. So I'm glad to be here. I know we're the odd one out, but we're gonna meme hard, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So I do want to make sure I do not mess this up. So I'm gonna get a power syrup, move this up to the top of the item list, and refresh Vivian's just once, because we don't really need that much, but we want to make sure we can fight the next 2 battles. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more all out with Gallo, but for the most part, we should be okay. Going to be a little bit careful. I'm going to heal. Okay, we're okay. Nice, I think we got 5 dead shots on Rachel. Okay. Okay, the next area should be fine. Again, this is the stronger team, so we really don't have to worry about Tiki's team. All we have to do is press select, and we're just going to steamroll through those fights. Gallo's team, I gotta be a little bit cautious with. Okay. Gonna use 5 dead shots. Now that we have some SP back on Vivian, we can go all out. That's fine. And we should be fine. Okay. Yeah. Can get a little bit worrying. It got a lot worse than it actually is because I don't have an Exceed knife available to me, so yeah. For comparison, this is how easy the other team gets it. Shoutouts to Robins again, because Robins is the best character in the game. Also notice that one attack by Robins, dealt 2 Robins, did 0 damage. Again, best character in the game. His helmet is also the skull of a swordfish, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of metal. Okay, this is another really important thing I have to do. I have to absolutely rest for this next fight, because I want to repair everything. The Exceed knife, and just everyone's SP in particular. What is coming up next is my favorite boss fight in this game, and is... This one boss fight kind of melted my face off when I first played this game, so I'm really excited to show this with you. So let us first rest up. Okay. So just doing a quick check for money. And now all 3 of our squads meet up. And we've got to fight none other than our favorite beetle boy, Barbarossa. This is a really fun fight, but it turns out, well, it's Azura versus Grossa. I'm just gonna heal. Yeah, rip, honestly. The next section, we get to use every single one of our teams in this fight, and every team after the first team will immediately enter the ignition state. So everyone's going nuclear. So this is for everyone who had difficulty with this fight. We have to deal about 15,000 damage to Grossa before we beat him, so this is going to be a little bit of a struggle. So if you don't beat him in as many turns as you can, he will just go nuclear and just wipe out your entire party. The next fight is going to be a little bit harder, so you want to be as cautious as possible. Alright, so this is why my team is built the way it is, because the third team is going to get the experience and is most importantly going to deal the finishing blow to Grossa. Okay, still not down. This is fine. So I have Onslaught. Nice! Oh, that can get a little bit worrying because you can still fail this fight if you don't beat him enough in enough turns. So you can wipe on this guy and it is a brutal restart. So whew, we can take a breather. That is a hard-fought fight, one of my favorite fights, so I'm glad you guys were able to watch it with me. So afterwards, we have prevented the capture of Hakuna Castle, and we have freed humanity for the most part. So we have a lot to work off, and we're going to run off this high, and we're going to remember our original mission and disable all of the ether gears. There is still one in the snow realm. Keep in mind. Alright, so next we're going to get a few prisoners that Hakuna Castle managed to capture during the fight, but most importantly we're going to recruit a few more characters. One of them is Omine, who is right over here, and all we have to do is just talk to her, and she joins our group. The next thing we want to get are the braided hats. I absolutely want to get a braided hat. This is Rip Run if I do not purchase it. Braided hats have a very strong light elemental resistance, and this is going to come in later, a lot later, so we want that resistance. To get Shiki, he's going to ask you a series of questions, and he'll say, which of these do you value the most? Any answer is the right answer. If you say, I believe in myself, he'll just have a different comment for every single choice you have. So, it doesn't really matter what you do, but Shiki is very easy to get on the team. With some of the characters to recruit, you have to be a little bit smart. In the case of Albatross, you have to say, we can't trust this guy. And then he'll say, oh, you're kind of smart, so let me just join you. So, that's kind of cool. So we get these 4 characters, not the other 2 because they don't have the talent that we need to get to the next area. Next up, I'm going to take a safety rest at the end because remember that all of my equipment has been broken because of all those ignitions. The next area is going to be, and the next ether gear fight is going to be a little bit easier if we just rest. So... Excellent. So we're going to have our endgame team, and our endgame team is going to be so you want it in this following order because I'm using the default setting of a Gen Lead and Rapid Blow. So the characters in these positions will be in their optimal positions for the next area, and just in general for all the strats that I'm going to use from here on out. I also forgot to equip Shiki, so I want to equip Seed Knife. Brother is good. Okay, should be good. The menus that I'm making, like equipment and talents, they can generally be done at any time. I'm just doing them now so I don't forget, because, I mean, in a speedrun and a more world record type setting, you want to have your menus very organized and very straightforward. But here, as if you remember them, do them before you forget. So, I'm a very forgetful person, so shout out to Time and Eternity, where I forgot to equip one skill that I had to load up a safety save, because otherwise I would have been on a really good run. But, yeah, if you want to see that run, that is Boss 2020, back in February. So other than that, we are going back up the, we're going on the Snow Rabbit, having a little bit of fun, but going up another way to get to the Snow Temple, where our final ether gear is held. In terms of time, we're doing alright. We could be doing a little bit better, but, you know, you can't cry over spilled milk. I really do like about this game that no matter how bogged down it seems like you're getting, like if you're losing time by entering random fights, there's always a way you can remake that time, just through by good movement or by good fights. Mostly the difficult part about this fight, I have talked about this before, is the final boss. The final boss is a saga kind of shout out. It is very, very difficult. It doesn't really know how to balance your progression all that well, so the final boss just goes like nose to the grindstone hard. I'll get a little bit more into the math later on when we do fight it, but the final fight is hard, and you can easily lose runs that are 3 hours worth of time save and just lose it all because Kawaza just goes nuclear on you, and you have no way around that, so... Yeah, it's a really nice and accessible game until the final boss fight. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Yeah, that boss fight is not nice. I have seen far too many runs fall apart because Kawaza decided to give me bad RNG. So, I'm just going to be a little bit more cautious here. I'm going to get card command. Just giving myself a few commands to at least boost the power of some of my available skills, particularly attack command, which increases the, I guess, damage multiplier of your attacks, so it's pretty nice, and it's just a flat damage increase, so it only costs 1,000 talent points, so if you do get it, if you do have a weapon that you like, do get it. Alright, this is a pretty weird fight. What you want to do is immediately enter Rapid Blow and just block with Ignace. You want to take care of the small fry first, so it looks like it's being pretty wasteful, but these guys can be a little bit annoying. Just remember to get Courageous Slapping up. Oh, nice. All in procced. It's fine. I think we should be fine. Nice and relatively straightforward fight, especially if you have your equipment repaired. If you don't have your equipment repaired, you're going to be relying on Shiki and a Dueling Saber, and the Dueling Saber isn't very powerful, so it does waste some time, but is a lot more safe, so we're taking that. I guess the cat's out of the bag. I actually haven't been in practice for like the past 6 months with this game until my buddy John with an H reached out to me for this marathon, so what you are seeing is basically a week and a half's worth of just scrambling to get all my tech back. So I think I've still got it, but you know, we're taking every safety measure in the book. We're not doing cool tech. We're not doing any of the new technique that Tata Tata Potato may have shown off in his world record runs. We're staying safe. But again, owing to the Suikoden writing, the game knows when to relax. So after we've defeated the Ether Gears and we've saved Hakone Castle, we have a party. And Ignace gets drunk. Like, he turns into a pretty cool drunk, honestly. That being said, Ignace is basically like Adalbert Steiner from Final Fantasy IX, except hot, and has kimonoplasm, so yeah, take that as you will. But, yeah. It's a really nice game that has enough serious moments and enough funny moments to not really feel like it's overly serious or making fun of something. And again, this is really the Suikoden's writer's mastery at work. So this is something that really did stick with me for a while after I played it casually, and this is really all on the Suikoden writer. So yeah, if you guys like this game, please find a way to play it. You can play it on 3DS, the PS4, the Switch, and on the PC. So we can now fly, so that's pretty cool, since all the Ether Gears are broken. Before we go, we want to set up one safety area to get more money. Over here, this is like a quiz on lore and like a quiz on math. Again, the Google Docs spreadsheet has all the answers for you, so that's pretty nice. But we're going to get a little bit of money here because we are a little bit short on funds and we want to get a few pieces of equipment. So the next up, we want to go to, I think, the Burning Realm, because that's the fastest way to go. And we're going to go all the way and just loop around the map. So on the top left corner of the map, that's where we're headed next, but I want to enter an island first because that is going to give me a little bit of safety. This is an emergency spot where you can get money, but this is also a grind spot, so shoutouts to Final Fantasy I and the Peninsula of Power. If you go in here, you can enter a lot of battle chains to get a lot of talent points to grind. They're also conveniently all lizards, so that's kind of cool. Okay, got my 5k. And that's nice. We are going to go back on the arc, and the reason why I've also routed this into at least the marathon is because it's a very short stone's throw away to the next area, because we're going to be gated by a story check, and once we're in, the arc crashes with many survivors. This was part of our master plan, so I know we don't get to bring friends on the Crystal Realm, but really, when we try to explain the crystal, our situation in the Crystal Realm, who has been far separated from all of this drama and all of this politics, turns out Faust, and I don't know why he wears the mask, but we try to tell him our master plan. And our master plan is, well, we just want to kill demons and just save the world. Faust is kind of like, okay, I'm not really going to help you, but it's not really my problem, so you guys deal with it. Because, well, they kind of don't want to get in all this mess. This is another character, Matilda. She's also a secret character, but you do have to go through quite a few hoops to get to her. She is the hardest to recruit out of all of the 3 optional characters. So, we can't get her in the speedrun because we are far too weak to fight the enemies that are required to get her. That being said, she's actually a very good character, so if you are on a casual run, you can get her. She is basically a really good Ignace in that she has really good spear skills. She can also cast Digimancy really well. So, yeah, I like Matilda. It's a shame that we don't see her anymore in this run. This is the next mechanic of the run, where we are pretty much in a floating continent, so nobody wants to enter the Ornithopter because the Ornithopter can't really fly that well, so we can't really do much with the Ornithopter, so we're going to have to find our own dragon. Here's a nice little skip you can do. You enter the house, and as this is to speed up Matilda's walking speed, because she takes her sweet time getting to the cathedral. So this is Faust. I don't know why Faust wears the mask, but, I mean, no one cared since, till he put on the masks. I mean, the next part of our master plan is just to get all the Aether Gears, but he's not really cooperating with us, so we really are kind of at a loss for what to do. So at least Matilda and to some extent Faust is saying, well, if you want to go around the Crystal Realm, you're going to have to find your own wyvern. And we're going to have to fight our own wyvern. But if you get Robins, you get a nice little scene with him. It's a little bit of a time loss, but the time and safety that Robins does bring is very nice. So you get a few wacky slapstick moments with Robins, and I like that. Before we do go to the next area, however, we want to get the Warlord. This is going to be helpful because it amps up Barbarossa's strength by quite a bit, but it also frees up the Lost Axe for other people to use. I haven't said this before, but the lost weapons that we have acquired by breaking all the Aether Gates, they have a special property where they are called Ancient. If you use the Ignition on Beastmen and Demons, there's a chance to proc and learn some of their own sorcery spells. This is a chance independent of the Ignition state, so you can basically cast a spell and then enter the Ignition state, and after which you will learn that Ignition state spell, and you can cast that spell whenever you want. This is really more powerful in theory and not so much in practice, but that is something to keep in mind if you are playing this game. Okay, for the next step we want to go all out, and we are just going to use Circle Swing, Onslaught, Reckoning, Sword Dancing, and of course... Okay, that was a one-shot, that's okay, because we didn't actually equip Renzo, but we are going to go all out with Shiki, and that's fine, because we're just going to use another rest at an inn soon, so that's fine. after we show a strength of skill, after we show off our strength to the wyvern, we are allowed to summon the wyvern at will with a spear flute. This is really where you start seeing the same loop. You know, we did this with the rabbit in the Snow Realm. This is the game's way of kind of padding out and kind of railroading you to certain story events. Could be worse. At least you can do a new mechanic, which are aerial battles, which is a three-person fight. So you do have to be a little bit smart with your positioning. To that end, the reason why I also have Barbarossa, Ignace, and Shiki where they are in terms of the party is because I want them in because they're the strongest characters so far. This is Dracopia, so we're just going to get a little bit more information and try to figure out more about why all of the people of the Crystal Realm don't really bat an eye to demons. They kind of just do their own thing, and that's kind of unusual because remember, up to this point, everybody is either has a violent hatred of the demons and beastmen, but these guys just don't really care. So it's a little bit odd. We're going to take a safety rest here, and it only costs 40 gold, so that's not that much. Alright, so next up, we are just going to do a quick equipment check. And it turns out, yeah, we don't have anything on this boy. So we're going to give him some equipment. Not worth it. I'm going to do a quick save here because we are going to enter a scripted fight soon. The next scripted fight is a little bit challenging. Again, you want to be smart with your targets, but otherwise, if you're smart with your targets, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. Oh, also, new battle theme, so let's groove out to this. Alright, so now what you are seeing is that Barbarossa is kind of red. That means he's entered the Berserk state. The Berserk state is actually really good in this game because at the cost of not being able to cast spells, you have a massive attack bonus. So for characters like Barbarossa who don't even have a good magic stack to begin with, that is perfect, and that is why you want Barbarossa on an axe. That being said, axes are really inaccurate, so the damage variance is a little bit on the wide side. Okay, gonna be a little bit careful here. I'm gonna switch to guard after this turn. Switch to rapid blow. And otherwise, it's just continue a regularly scheduled program of attacks. You just want to be a little bit careful here because you can get a little bit overzealous and you can wipe by just sheer bad luck. Alright. So afterwards you do want to rest because you are a little bit burned out on SP. The next area we are going to be fighting a few paid actors. This is the wacky mini-boss squad that at least tries to inject some humor into this area, so these guys are pretty fun and pretty wacky. But we just want to make sure we are good to go. At this point, Kulwata, the main villain and the top demon of the demon realm, is starting to figure out that humanity is fighting back. So, as a response, he is sending out Rouge, Grossa, and all the demons to fight back to prevent the breaking of the Ether Gears. It seems like even if we don't break the Ether... Even if we break all the Ether Gears, it seems like whatever Kulwaza has been planning with the Ether Gears has already been set in motion. We really don't know what. It just seems pretty ambiguous, even until the endgame. So that is something to keep in mind. We did get a little bit of bad luck here, but that is okay. We should be fine because we didn't use any weapons. What's nice about this game is that the next area we enter, we will have our HP and SP fully restored, but we will not have our weapons repaired. So that is why I wanted my weapons repaired by resting at the end, just to make sure that we are okay for this next area. The next area is absolutely brutal. This is the Wave Tower. It's pretty much like Rainbow Road, except you go up instead of horizontally. And it is filled to the brim with ladders. It is a lot of battle chains. I have to be careful here. But I'm a runner, denied my memes. I will try to meme one more time. So we are on a pretty good pace. Ideally, we would have entered about 2:30, but so far so good. Nothing too bad yet. This maze is a little bit tricky. They don't really give you all that much information in this maze, but the way you want to do is, again, shout out to Death Stranding, you want to follow a rainbow in reverse order. So not Roy G. Biv, but the other way around. There is a nice little shortcut that I'm going to show off. And that, just have to be a little bit careful, because if you make too overzealous a turn, you can lose yourself. We just want to be a little bit careful. There's our first turn. Okay, so if you did this right, on your left you should see a big red crystal. Okay, I did not do this right, so I'm just going to pass as intended. That's a shame. Okay, there's the orange one. There's the red one. So it would have been a 6 skip, but, well, take what we can get. Yeah, that maze can be a lot worse if you don't know what to do. You can get lost there for quite a bit, but you wander around enough and you should be fine. So, this is the Wave Tower. This is the part of the game that I dread, because it is just one large slog through this area. This is also the game's kind of implicit way of saying, alright, we have a guild member at every point, at every landing of this area. Ideally, if you spent some time leveling up the guilds, you would have probably stumbled upon a level up trait that gave you the option to rest at every time you see a guild representative. We don't have that, so we are pretty much on quite a march through this area. So I will try to stay a little bit quiet, but I will try to meme when I can. This is just a bunch of ladders. I have had exceptionally bad luck entering battle chains, getting struck by lightning, and if you get struck by lightning, you are stuck in place for a few seconds. So you don't want that to happen, and you also want to be aware that you don't want to run away from too many fights on Ignace if you don't have to. The problem here is that Ignace is... We're going to really rely on Ignace to get us through the boss fight, which is Rouge. If Ignace comes in with really low health, we are in a really big disadvantage because I haven't shown this to you yet, but wrong. I haven't shown this to you yet, but every time you die, you have a amount of health subtracted from you as a consequence. This is similar to Saigo no Yakusoko no Monogatari, an Image Epic game made in 2010. Also similar to Soul Trigger. Every time you die, you get a penalty of your magic resource taken away from you. In Saga games, it's usually a second resource called LP, which are your life points, which is similar to like burning fate points in a D&D game, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, if you keep dying and you keep losing health, you will eventually reach a point where you are at single-digit health, and if you get hit and your maximum health reaches 0, that is a game over. That is true on all characters, not just Gallo, not just Azura, but every single character, Robin's included, the secret characters included. This is more of a problem towards the end of the game, but it will start being a problem now. So that is something you want to be aware of and something just to be careful of. Here, there are some fights where you just have to run into, so it is a time loss, but better to run into these fights and just to rush through it than to try to be sneaky and waste even more time. Okay, we're going to switch back to... Right, this is the next set of fights. You do want to be a little bit careful because, again, you are on... You do have to keep aware of your SP. This is the point where I do start entering Rapid Blow just for safekeeping. So we're going to just enter block. You want to start targeting the Beastmen specifically because they have a lot of skills that are going to be really annoying. Excellent. Okay, we should be fine. Nice. Yeah, so this is a wave tower. It's not all... I may overblow just how difficult it is, but it is really just from a caution standpoint. I have lost many runs to specifically wave tower because I was being a little bit too rash and a little bit too aggressive with some of my strategies, so it is always good just to exercise caution here. Again, Beastmen first, so target the enemies in the back. I think we should be fine with hardware. Okay. Okay, this is a little bit worrisome, but this is why we purchased 12 power syrups, and it's a good thing I didn't use that many, because now I can just spend as much time as I can to build up our SP reserves. So, we are good to go there. Sometimes I do a little bit of a dance just to make sure that the enemies are going to be where they are, and I'm not activating a battle chain unintentionally. So I think we are good for now. But sometimes, yeah, these guys can give a battle chain, and you're not all that enabled to prevent that, so... Just remember, after every time, you just swap out with your appropriate, you swap out with Ignace with Gallo. I have lost a few runs because of that too, so. Alright, so this area is a little bit or this fight is a little bit easier. Again, you want to target the, I'm going to target the Skelly guys first because they will cast Sleep on us, and that's no good. Okay. So I'm going to switch to Cross Slash instead of Reckoning for Shiki because that does a little bit more damage to undead characters. That's just a small remnant from Saga. That ability does appear in Saga games, and that does deal extra damage to undead enemies, so that's kind of cool. Save, and I'm just going to make sure I have the Warlord equipped, because it does not feel like I do have that equipped. Good to have. Okay, that's one of the fights I'm worried about. Okay, we are almost done with the wave tower, so it was a pretty stressful part of this game. We can now take it a little bit easier, but the upcoming fights are a little bit, we're gonna get stick bugged. So shout out to that one stick bug meme. So again, you want to target the enemy in the back row, because this one enemy in particular is going to cause us a lot of trouble. Alright, just making sure my notes are good. And I'm going to switch to using a strong medicine on Ignace just to keep him alive. Don't want to see him die if he doesn't have to. Okay, it's not less than ideal. Okay, you do not want to waste when you don't want. You do not want to waste your ignitions here. Don't want to use it. I'll use Angel Ladder. Okay, that was a tough fight. So that one fight, I am actually pretty worried about, but we managed to get through. We're gonna have to distribute the remaining 5 pretty well. Okay, that is the best I can spread that out. Alright, this is where the game gets a little bit stressful, but for the most part, the difficulty is going to be a little bit more controllable. So, the next area we will not get a... we will not have to get another fight like that, so I think we have enough SP to get us through. I'm going to take the Safety Lightning Rock. I like taking Lightning Rocks recently because it increases your resistance to status ailments. Ever so slightly, but that's... that might just be a placebo effect. That just might be me just wanting to have a safety blanket in this game. That is a little bit stressful towards the end, so... Alright. So, I have mentioned this before, I am a hero... Or, not a hero, but I am a runner denied my memes. We will continue to meme. We have ladders. I have not given you a good ladder song ever since Bastille. So, everybody, get ready for this. Alright. Well, shoutouts to Hideo Kojima. So. Ooh. What a thrill. And silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I melt into you. What a thrill in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Alright, we did it with no encounters. Alright, that's good. We have my meme. I'm okay if I die on Rouge. Alright. Okay, no, we're gonna reset. Yeah, I didn't switch out Gallo. That's... yeah, that happens. It's a good thing I quick save a lot, so we should be fine. Yeah, no. No, it's not GG. It is just one quick save because I am a very paranoid man, and we are okay. So. Alright, this is a very hard fight. I am going to talk about it afterwards, but I don't like Rouge. This is a fight that I will always almost like wipe to at least once. Okay. Hard block, onslaught, reckoning, sword dancing. Okay. How's health? Okay. I will rocket headbutt. Sword breaker, not too good. Okay. Onslaught, reckoning, sword dancing again. Okay. The reason why I'm worried about Rouge is that she will kind of go nuclear, and if it casts La Danse Macabre, you will pretty much die. It is not a fun attack. We have saturation attack. Excellent. This is what I'm worried about. And, okay, enough people are alive. Okay. Hard block. Okay, end of beginnings. Yeah, that is what you're worried about. That just happens. Okay. Hell Rage. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit cautious here, and I'm gonna start healing with Robins. That's what I'm worried about. Oh, he just countered me. Okay. Frozen Tone. Okay. Okay, I have enough. Okay, this has to be it. Oh my god. That is good. Okay, I'm gonna need a second. That fight is never fun. You just saw how bad it could get, so... yeah, I'm gonna need a second. Okay, that is on the wire. So, you think this is bad. The final boss, it is... You're gonna be doing that for 15 minutes. So, you think a 2-minute Rouge fight is bad. You have another thing coming, I am afraid to say. Okay, so, we have sung where no man should rightfully have sung before. We beat Rouge, we disable the Ether Gear. Most importantly, we get the sword that Faust has been withholding from us, the Lily Marlene, which is the second strongest sword in the game. We also get a prize money of 50,000 gold. So we're going to use that, and we're immediately going to blow it all. Yeah, it sounds like the money route is pretty nice because you get a free 50,000, but we blow all that money immediately. No, I don't want that. Okay, I need to get 40 strong medicines at the very least. I'm gonna get 45. I'm gonna get 15 divine medicines. 10 Pax medicines. Or 9 at least. We should be fine. Okay. Okay, that was preparation for the final boss. Those are all the charges I have for healing. If I run out, and it is possible that I do, we are pretty much memed on. We are now... Okay, this is another really important meme, another menu that I do want to get. So... someone is asking if there is a special bad end involving the final boss. Yes, and I will get into that. It does come out of nowhere, but yeah, there is a special bad end if you lose and have the certain conditions, tied to you dying. So we want to go back to Dracopia. This is a very important menu because if I fail this, I will lose out on 10,000 SO, and that is a lot of money that I can easily could have prevented. So, this one guy, remember him, he was one of the enemies that we fought. Okay, we want to refuse him entering our group because he'll bribe us and say, alright, look, I don't want to be part of your group, but I'm going to give you some money. We need that 10,000 SO because this is going to be important for a final menu at the end of the game. So I'm glad we didn't mess up with that menu. So we are good to go for now. The next step we want to go to is we want to enter Gears Rock because we are going to first get a few more characters to recruit. And these are the last characters we have to recruit. So we want to go here. Recruit this character. I think we recruit her. Yes, okay. We want to go into the guild itself and get some more recruits, and we also get a few order gems to make up for some of the ones that we lost. Alright, excellent. So yeah, I will be talking about the special bad ending when it is appropriate, but for now I don't want to spoil anything. You get another about 2-minute break. I have to stay here because I have to do a single menu, but yeah, you guys can get a break. I will explain the lore if need be at this point. So yeah, get another bathroom break if you guys can. Stay hydrated, please. Oh, yo, are we getting raided right now? Yo, sick. Thank you, Neoslash, for the raid. Absolutely sick. Okay, you want to go to this menu, and you want to get to this. It's just a little bit of info. You don't have to look at anything. Everything else is just lore. I'm going to stop gathering information, and here is your break. Alright, so... I'll explain the plot a little bit later. You guys unfortunately raided when everyone's taking a break, but I'll explain everything as it comes along. I lost. How do you win? I lost. Alright, so, welcome back from your guys' short break. There was a lot of lore that just happened. So what just happened was that now that we broke all the Ether Gears, we can return safely back to, Vivian and Ignace can return back to their own home in the demon realm, but the issue is that we're trying to find information about the Ether Gears, and it turns out that, well, we stumbled upon information that the Ether Gears were really part of the demons' plan to pretty much take over the world and completely destroy the world. Kulwaza, now having sprung his trap, shows up in Vivian's house and says, "All right, Vivian, you broke the rule. You have this is information that you shouldn't know, so I'm going to take away your immortal life and I'm going to give you mortality." Unfortunately, mortality kicks in super fast, and she is pretty much on a ticking time bomb to her own death. This is, we have to stop Kulwaza, and the only way to stop Kulwaza, at least with this curse specifically, is to kill Kulwaza. So if Kulwaza wasn't being annoying as he was at any part of the game, we now have a personal vendetta against him, because Vivian is now going to die. Here I'm going to take an extra little bit of a side quest, and we're going to fight some thugs, or, well, we're going to fight some poachers. And we're going to beat up these poachers. Alright, this is a pretty easy fight at this point in the game. So we're just going to charge, and we're just going to straight slash. I don't even know why I'm menuing this in, like everyone dies in one shot, so. But, this is a quest that you can get very early on, but it still persists. The nice thing about this game is that it's not really... A lot of the quests you can lock yourself out of if you make a bad decision, but in terms of things unlocking, they're not chapter or time sensitive, so you can do these quests whenever you want to. What I did here was get this thing called Prime Meat, and what I'm going to do is sell this to this one butcher. So I'm going to charge him 10,000 SO for it because I need money, and I need money now. Unfortunately, this will put him out of business, so I think this does have some ramification of, like, you don't get to get him, like, his items. So I'm going to ask for 10,000 and sell him the meat for 10,000. We need this for an endgame menu, so. Okay, before we go up to blue, at this point, we know what to do, and this one guy named Blue is going to pretty much send us to the demon realm, but we have a few things that we need in order to get there. I am making one final trek up here. So remember, like 30 minutes into the game, I did not kill the octopi, and it turns out you can recruit them. You just have to be a little bit careful with your navigation. Just so slightly. Move. Excellent. So we want to recruit these 3 characters into our guild. We are going to see the fruit of this very soon. So, do a quick save here. Alright, we're going to try and just rush out. So. Alright, pretty good. Pretty painless too. I'm still worried about getting battle chains because that's just a minor time loss. At this point in the game, you can one-shot all the enemies, so I'm just doing that for style points. So, we are going to Blue. It turns out Blue, the demon, is actually willing to send us to the demon realm for a low cost of either 50,000 gold or 4 artifacts that we can get scattered throughout the world map. The 4 artifacts are guarded by 4 very powerful enemies. At this point in the game, you can beat them. They are extremely difficult, but you can also work out a deal. Some of the deals are pretty wacky, like you lose 5% of your health, or you get that item loaned to you, but by the time you enter the demon realm, that item gets revoked from your inventory. So there's some weird deals. I am just going to pay him the money because I do not want to spend the time walking around and getting those items, because you do have to enter water devil dens, and those aren't any fun to navigate. So we are close to the end of the game. Kulwaza, I haven't mentioned, is that the blue-haired guy. He kind of looks like Sephiroth, except with horns. Yeah, he's a little bit ambiguous with what he wants to do, but all he does is he wants to destroy something. We just don't know what. So the 4 demons are also a shout out to the 4 elementals that you do see in Saga games. They're not all of... They're hard fights. You really deserve, the item that you get once you beat them. So you can fight them. You can actually bargain from them. So that's pretty nice. The bargains I don't want to do. But now we are just about at endgame. So I know I'm about... Well, I don't want to jinx it, but I am reaching the end of the game, so Space Coyote, if you are here, please start preparing. I am anticipating a 345, which is pretty nice, but it can be faster if I just get good RNG. So, yeah. At this point, I do want to make some final menus. I do want to be very careful with this fight, so I'm going to be quiet here, and I'm going to assign my recruits. And take this nice and slow. Unlock everything to tactics and just move all your recruits to tactics. Just take it nice and slow. Okay. Almost there, and since we are done, please, if you have not installed Gen 2, please install Gen 2. Okay, that is a really big menu that I was actually nice and worried about. Because if you misassign a character to the wrong guild, you cannot get them back. And right now, I do not have any of the backup strats on hand. Going to get Hostile up, and just making sure the last of my talents are learned on all the characters that are relevant here. Okay. Next, I want to steal some arts. So this is an interesting thing that you can do with enough levels in the Tactics Guild. You can actually steal some of your arts and get a power bonus to the arts that are not procced. Renzo's in a pretty bad situation because he has not actually learned Saturation Attack, so he's going to be doing a lot less damage. I'm going to get full swing on. Onslaught, okay. And... okay, that should be good. Okay, I also have to get my equipment in order with the Lily Marlene, and I'm going to rest because the next fight can be a bit of a challenge. The next fight, you can also get walled in. I have been saying this, the fights are getting progressively harder. This is really where the Saga level difficulty comes in, largely because it is kind of hard to scale these kinds of games, so the end game is usually, like, nose to the grindstone hard, so you do want to be careful as much as possible. So, again, absolute safety, we're here for a marathon, we're here for a meme, not so much here for fast, unfortunately. I have been out of practice for 6 months, so I'm using every safety strat I have at my disposal. Because I want to show you a good time, and I want to show you a good show. Most importantly, I want to show you a complete show. So Esmeralda is back. So she's coming back with a vengeance, and it's the same kind of setup like last time. You want to enter. You want to enter Rapid Blow, and you want to stay on block for Ignace at all times. Onslaught, you want to target the enemy in the back. The enemy in the back has a chance to confuse you, and that will kill you if you let it use the confuse attack. The enemies in the front, I'm a little bit worried about, but it's a little bit manageable. Sword dancing. Okay, so what is happening and what you're seeing the extra effects are, these are all the guilds that can help you. We haven't seen this in the game proper because we just haven't had a chance to see it, but this is really nice because all of them have interesting passives. So I can't really get into the passives now, but every one of them has a unique passive that is extremely powerful and something that is extremely vital for this fight. Okay, we should be fine. Okay, we can go faster. Okay, what I also showed was the this new mechanic. If we have level 5, we can enter this thing called a combination. This is similar to a combo attack in Saga games. So these are really powerful attacks that I'm going to target, and it will deal a huge amount of damage if everyone is in the same sort of position. That's good. That's going to be nice. Okay, nice stun. Okay, we are good. Just go all out. Nice, I learned Demolition. Okay, Hollow Blade. Alright, let's show off the La Dance Macabre. Nice! Okay. That can maul me. That fight can maul me. So that is good that we get through that. At this point, Esmeralda is... I mean, we had the chance to kill Esmeralda, but Azura, owing to part of her character arc, is saying that, look, our beef isn't with you, our beef is with the people who are manipulating us into fighting. It looks like someone's pulling at the strings, and I know you had your reasons for killing my mom, but I don't want to kill you, and that's not going to solve anything. Esmeralda, unfortunately, is fully convinced that, look, we're this far into the plot, we're this far into the war against demons and humans. If you're not going to kill me, I'm going to take my own way out, and she's going to sacrifice herself to water devils. Yeah, again, this game can get surprisingly serious, but it does a nice balance of being serious and being kind of relaxing. Alright, so we are in the final area of this game. If at any point I enter a battle chain, I have to reset, so I'm going to be quick saving a lot, and we are going to be taking it really cautiously. So, I do want to get a safety rest because I did break a lot of good weapons, and I'm going to get another safety save here, so we should be good to go. This final area, once you're in Area 18, which is the Demon's Realm, you can't get out, so once you are here, you are locked into this area. Shadows to Saga Frontier 2, with the final Megalith, once you're in, you don't get out, but at least with this particular final area, they give you 2 rest spots, so this is actually... it's merciful for once. So shoutouts to Saga Frontier 2 speedrun in Saga 2020. That run is also equally brutal, but this game is a lot more... a little easier to navigate, so let's rest and let us get our equipment prepared. Okay. Alright. Nice. Okay, before we enter the final battle, we do want to spend the last of our money on some good equipment. So, Daemonia, pretty tough fight, or pretty tough area. They're all water devils, and water devils have a pretty erratic movement pattern. Just look at this guy going all out. You kind of want to be careful. If you have to take a long cut just to stay a little bit safer, absolutely take it. I have lost many a run to just being too aggressive. Okay, I want to take all these, and I want to equip the Elder Socks and Braided Hat. So this is going to really amp up our resistances and our defense. So we absolutely need this. I'm going to equip a Lightning Rock. Do I have a medicine pack on you? Yes, I do. Okay, I don't have medicine. Okay. Okay, I'm going to sell the remainder of my equipment to see if I can at least squeeze by another item. This is a menu that I almost never do, because it does waste a huge amount of time, because you can't really speed sell a lot of your equipment. I am just doing this just to see if I can squeeze past another one item. Yes, I can. Okay, I want the Elder Bandage specifically on Ignace because I want as much defense and status resistance as I can get. So notice on his defense page you have stars. That means you have maximum resistance against those types of damage properties. Excuse me. So this is just extreme safety. I'm in it to win it. So I'm not going fast, but I'm here, and I'm gonna try and show you the best I can. So I just do want to say that we are 100 Heroes Marathon. We are trying to raise awareness of the new Kickstarter, Eiyuden Chronicle. I believe yesterday we just hit a massive stretch goal. So if you guys are interested, there is a Kickstarter. We're here mostly because the writer of Eiyuden Chronicle is the writer behind the Suikoden games and this game as well. So please show your support. Please come out. Thank you guys for coming out. I was really excited to be here. I'm still excited to be here, and I'm really excited to show you the end of this game. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching ESA channel stream 2. I mean, RPG Limit Break during SGDQ. Okay, every now and again I do want to make a safety save, so yeah, I'll take it. Oh no. Yeah, that little blip. You guys gotta restart because that is a battle chain. And you can't really win battle chains at this point. It is... I mean, I still have difficulty fighting through these enemies at a casual playthrough, so... there's one of them in particular that I'm worried about. It's like a blue fog spirit that we fought early in the game. It will just flat out one-shot your team. Yeah, you can't really do much against it, so... You can be careful, so... That's really all you can do. Okay, there you are. That's what caused me the battle chain. Okay, nice. So I have to repeat this twice. It's okay, could be worse. But halfway through this area, we do find the physical location of Vivian and Ignace's house. So you can go there. Ignace will prepare tea and will recover all of your lost health and SP. You can also repair all your equipment, so that's kind of sick too. So that's nice. They do give us a lot of breakpoints. But coming up soon, we are going to be in a bit of a tricky situation because I do not have power syrups. So depending on the SP amount that I have, I will probably have to return and take another save. So this Water Devil is a little bit on the tougher side, but still pretty easy. Oh, we can go all out on this fight. So go charge. Demolition. I still really am worried that I don't have anything stronger on Renzo, so Renzo's really going to be underperforming for this fight. Oh my... Okay, I'm actually fine with this because Shiki just made up for it by unlocking Heart of the Sword. I have never seen Heart of the Sword, like, proc since like, the last 5 attempts I've been doing, so I think we'll be fine. That's fine. Okay, I am going to go back because I am low on SP. Yeah, I'm going back. Alright, so now that we are back with full SP, we can go charge the second to last fight, which is Punish Grossa. Like, Grossa literally is on fire when we fight him, so he is pretty much a hero denied his oath, and he's not happy. This is the point in the game where he will use his sweeping attack really aggressively and very frequently, so you do want to be careful. So that is why I did run out of power syrups. I am just going to change a little bit of my talents just to get a little bit more damage out of Shiki specifically. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Alright, we're gonna do this. So this is the final Grossa fight. Grossa, interestingly enough, has the same amount of health when you fought him in Hakuna Castle as he does here in this fight. So that's also true of the New Game Plus fight. You can actually beat Grossa in the beginning of the game if you are well equipped in a New Game Plus. You actually get a secret ending, but we can't show that here because I don't have a save that does that. I'm gonna do Demolition, Heart of the Sword. Okay, Sword Dancing. Smithereens, excellent. That is a very powerful attack. That is the strongest attack that I want on Barbarossa right now. So that is excellent luck. I want hard luck. Smithereens, Heart of the Sword, Sword Dancing. You know what? I'm okay with Renzo underperforming now. Okay, let's just go out. Oh my god, he got hit by the... Oh, that is a nice, like, dab kill. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. We got kills. We got KS'd by our own guild, man. Alright, in terms of endings, there are, I think, 3 different endings. You get the secret ending in the beginning of the game, where you actually don't thwart Kawaza's plans. You get the bad ending, which I have to just do a menu real quick. You get the bad ending, which is what happens when you run out of order gems or retries, and Kawaza basically breaks the 4th wall. This is the wrong... I want Gen Lead. That is the one I want. And you also get the standard ending, which doesn't really matter if you're on, you know, New Game Plus, and that's just if you win, everybody wins, and you defeat Kawaza. I'm gonna check my equipment one last time. So, full disclosure, in this fight, if I lose this fight, I'm going to immediately switch to a safety save, because I, like, you will, like, get walled in this fight in a speedrun. So if I die, I'm switching to a safety save, which has an immensely more powerful team, and we're just going to show the ending either way. So, alright, give me the luck. Alright, the Alliance is strong, the Alliance is with us, all you guys are with me, we're going to go to the final battle, and we're going to do this. So, let's do this together. So we are reaching the end of the game. Space Coyote, please, if you are here with us, please start preparing for your run. Alright, this is some sick music, so you guys get to enjoy for a little bit while I focus. Still gets me every time. Okay, turn 1, go all charge. He doesn't have any spells that can be blocked, so go all out if you can. Try and not be overzealous with your SP. Okay, that's good. That's good luck. That's good. Nice. Okay, he's got about, I want to say about 10,000 health, so we want to go reasonably all out. Okay. Okay, one more. Okay, switch to heal. Not good. Oh, no, that's not good. That is not good. So what you saw there was Kawaza confusing Shiki, and he immediately killed and just one-shot Robins. I am in an okay situation, but I have 3... I've got 3 ignitions. This is going to be really tough. This is where the fight gets hard. Okay. Kawaza has about 12,000 health to 20,000 health. No, it has 20,000 health. All of those little floaters on the side have about 10,000 health. I am... Okay, I need to stay safe here. I'm going to immediately enter Gen Lead. Okay, we're going to block. Okay. Enter that. Okay, I want to use Divine Medicine on Robins. We're going to use La Danse Macabre, and and we're going to target all enemies. So the cool thing about a lot of the Lost weapons, they are multi-target. We need that. Okay. Grass Talker, okay. It's okay. Okay. Stay blocked. I really wish Ignace wasn't the one who got the ignition state. Powdered Sword. Okay, I'm going to switch, and I'm going to use Strong Medicine. Strong Medicine on Ignace. Okay, if we can get the first couple of Belfries down, this fight will be a lot easier, but is still going to be exceptionally hard. That's not good. That's not good. That's really not good. Okay. Okay, everyone's confused. Okay, I'll use Pax Medicine. Okay, Pax Medicine purges Confuse, but this is... It's not good. This is how quickly the fight can turn south. I thought I was doing really well, but I have to go into full turtling right now. Okay, okay, bring back Ignace as soon as possible. Bring back Shiki. Okay, who is weak? Okay, I'm gonna use Courageous Slapping. Just bring back anyone who's alive and just strengthen. Okay, not good, not good. That's not good. Okay, back to Gen Lead. The thing I'm doing is a little bit of stance dancing. That refreshes the original position that was originally displaced when the rows change. Okay, we're just gonna have to turtle this. There's only one of them. Okay, sword. Okay, good. We're back up. We can hopefully continue the attack. That's not good. Ignace is continually dying. This is really bad. I do not have a Garter. That's bad. Okay, Ignace is now in double-digit HP. Okay, I'm gonna do as best as I can. I'm gonna show off the bad ending. Okay, Renzo is just gonna be our dedicated healer. Okay. If anyone is asking, this is actually par for the course of Kurwaza fights. He can get this mad this easily. So what you're seeing is actually par for the course. This is why a lot of people tend to abandon this game pretty quickly, because the final boss is... Yeah, that's RIP. I'm going to show off the... Oh, I can't actually, because he didn't use... He didn't destroy all of my Order Gems. So what I was alluding to was if you destroy all of your Order Gems, he will literally like break the fourth wall, and he'll kind of go like Undertale and pull a Doki Doki, I guess. Okay, it's okay the audio's down because audio is down to 0. But yeah, he'll pull like a Doki Doki and like he'll break the fourth wall, and then you'll enter like this weird space. A la Yeek, a postmodern RPG, and then you can collect a few Order Gems and restart the fight from there. This is going to be the grinded out team, so yeah, you saw how easily that boss can turn south. What you're going to see now is a safety strat, and I'm invalidating this run. You're going to see a very well grinded team. This is a difference of about 2 hours worth of grinding in terms of just how strong everybody is. So, I just want you to see how powerful everybody is. And yeah, I'm putting in Gallo for this one instead of Robin's, just to see how powerful it is. Yeah, that was really unfortunate, but you know, what are you gonna do? The only thing you can do is your best, and you know what? I did my best, and we could have done better, but you know, that's just Saga, baby. Okay, we're just gonna go all out. Ideally, you would have a team closer to this, just everyone going all out. I mean, just look how much damage we're just piling on this guy. Also notice how the flame attack did not cause confusion, because I've got status resistance, so we are good. Okay, I do want to be a little bit careful, so... You know, the funny thing is I can still wipe to this. Like, even though this is a safety save, like, he can still go nuclear. Okay. Okay, immediately enter Gen Lead. Actually, I can just enter Modified Rapid Blow. Gallo is going to be my backup healer, but he can still deal a huge amount of damage. And just notice how much, or how little damage Ignace is taking. Like, he's taking just double-digit damage. And, like, he's brushing it off like it's nothing. He's also got 380 health, so that's pretty nice. Nice. Okay, excellent. We have... Oh, we are good. This is going to be fun. So we're gonna go full spicy mode here. Wait, this is for the previous save file. This game's memed on me for the last time. So the next thing I want to target is that big anchor-looking thing. This is because the anchor can have a tendency to buff up everyone as, or buff up the enemy as a last resort, and it did that. So all stats are improved. So this is going to be a little bit tougher, but we should be okay. And just go all out. Okay, that's fine. All right. So at 8,000, you're going to get a visual check that the boss is going to be pretty weak. So keep an eye on that. We're going to hit that relatively soon. I'm going to enter Frozen Tone. Deal damage. All right. Okay, we're still good. Continue healing. This is also part of the problem with some of my more aggressive strats is that you tend to run out of SP pretty quickly, so you do have to enter a kind of turtle phase. This is very, very bad in normal fight, and this is just getting worse because everybody got confused. Oh man, this is this is normal. Pax medicine. This is my grinded out team, right? This is what I mean when Kawaza just goes nuclear. Like, you have no defense against it. Yeah, so I, as a runner, have always said Kawaza will always throw a temper tantrum. This is pretty much his temper tantrum. Like, we were just barraged with an onslaught of attacks, and we had no way against it. We had no way just to defend against it, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. So, it's a very harsh fight, but it is not too bad. Okay, we are at sub 8,000 health, so we should be fine. Okay, King's Approach. No, we still have a lot of... Everyone should be okay, but I'm just gonna heal just in case. Alright, so we should be a little bit better. We are certainly not in a very comfortable position, but Time is coming up soon. Oh my... Please. Not like this, man. Not like this. Oh, that is time. Oh man, even with the grinded team, that fight can turn out how it always does. So, wow. All right, thank you. Thank you guys for watching me with this run. Thank you for all of the memes. Thank you for all of the fun along the way. We have had an excellent run. I wish it could have gone better, but you know what? I'm going to take this. This was an absolute joy to be here. I'm excited to be here. Thank you again for everyone bringing this marathon together. RPG Limit Break, 100 Heroes, John with an H, Space Coyote, all of you guys running. Thank you so much. None of this would have been able. We can't do this without you guys, and I'm just one of many runners in this game, so please feel free to reach out to me. I have a lot of documentation on this game. This is one of my favorite games of all time, so please reach out if you're interested. I can't help you against Kawaza, but, you know, we can make it through together. So, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Before I leave, we're going to have one more final order. Who should let the give the final orders to the Saga 2020? So, who are we going to give it to? We going to give it to Robbins, everybody? Or what are we doing? What do you guys feel like? Alright, looks like we are going Robbins. So, Robbins will be giving the final order. It's his turn for glory. Alright. Raise anchor, everybody. Thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for this run. I will be right back, and I will pass it off to Space Coyote for Suikoden 3. Thank you again. My name is WinterHof. Feel free to reach out, and with that being said, I am out.